Thank you, gentlemen and guns. Coming.
I apologize, I have canceled some dates, but I will definitely be in September in Anchorage and in Columbus. Today's guest, my buddy, Vine sensation, actor, director, and comedian, Jason Nash. Go to BertBertBert.com.
This is the Bertcast.
But we're recording in the man cave.
Yeah.
Probably one of the guys I've known the longest in this business. You're definitely the longest podcaster I've ever known.
The business being when we were professional wrestlers.
Yeah. No. Entertainment. You're the person I've probably known the longest. You, Dimitri Martin, Brody Stevens. You guys were all. It was all the same group of people. The same group of people.
All the same year.
Yeah.
At Harvard.
Yeah, exactly. Jason Nash. Jason's wife was responsible for my first TV show I got in television. Jason is responsible for the most fun I've ever had on the set ever.
Where was that?
Oh, I'm fucking screaming if you know the answer. I've never had more fun.
We had the most fun.
I've never had more fun doing a show.
Tell everybody what it was. Did you ever talk about it?
No, I've never. No, it never even aired.
It was on at one point.
Oh,
for
on
about
Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and then it was off though.
It was. How would you pitch it?
I just feel like it's a roller coaster game show. It's a game show.
It's a game show on a roller coaster. It's Cash Cab, but on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So you get on a roller coaster and they just fucking fly you around, and they'd ask them questions.
Yeah.
And it was.
You were great. You were a great host. You are a great
You were
host.
the head writer. You were.
No, I wasn't.
You were head writer.
I was the only writer.
That's.
God, it's hot in this man cave.
It's gonna get hotter.
Your man cave is so insane. I can't even. I look at it and then I like forget where I am sometimes. I'm like, oh my god,
It's a pretty sweet room.
I can't believe they built this for you.
I know. I get in it sometimes and I still kind of am like blown away.
Right?
Yeah.
This came from like jokes.
Someone goes, like top 5 greatest times of your life. Receiving this was in top 5. No questions asked. It's better. Like I would put this up with the birth of my children.
Sure.
Getting this man cave. It was like winning a lottery ticket.
Do you put the birth of your children right up there always? Do you have to?
One, yes.
It's actually quite a stressful night.
I'm going to tell you
not so great, the birth.
Top 5 moments of my life. I can tell you honestly. Birth of Georgia. I don't really remember Isla's birth at all. Jumping off the stratosphere. On a cruise ship one time, I put $20 on 11 and it hit. And I remember when that happened thinking, this is actually better than the birth of my child. This feeling I'm having right now, this feeling of just fucking winning was better than the birth of my child. And then receiving this man cave. And
what about like doing Letterman? Is that in there?
Letterman was not as much of a payoff. If you're going to put like parameters around it with like stand-up, I will say my first ICM showcase.
And you did like amazing. You crushed it that night.
It was what everyone.
Was that before anyone even knew you?
Yep.
Okay.
It was like my coming out party. I'd had a deal with Will Smith, and then that's how I got the X show. I'll never forget. I only say this because this is like these are the benchmark moments in my life that I remember distinctly.
Yeah.
I went on. Everyone was shuffling at the Laugh Stop at the Laugh Factory to see who would go on after Earthquake. No one wanted to follow Earthquake, but I was starting in New York and I'd only followed black dudes. So I was like, "Fucking put me after Earthquake. That's my comfort zone." So I go after Earthquake. He destroys. My first joke is something about my name. Bert. No one wants to fuck a guy named Bert. Bert. And then I go, shh, call me Earthquake. And the fucking room lit up. Everyone it's all agents. This is back when you get a deal, right? I tell my last joke about the dating game. And as I'm getting off, Kathy Griffin, who was hosting, gives me a hug and goes, that was a dream fucking set. You're going to be wealthy. And I went, ooh, walked off stage. Barry Katz escorted me out of the room, into the alley. He goes, don't talk to anyone. And I went, what? And there were writers running down the alley to try to fucking get me. And then they put me in a car, and he said, do not go out. Don't call
anyone.
Don't go. You're going to have meetings starting at 8 o'clock. I will call you this evening with the changes.
Best.
And so that was, and I remember
I love that about that guy.
I called my buddy Miles and told him, I was like, I think
he kind of takes everything a little too seriously.
Who, Barry?
Yeah, like, but in a manager, that's good because you're like, he treats everything as like a big moment.
Can I tell you
he
something?
doesn't let big moments pass, which is good.
People always go,
Because we have a tendency to be like, whatever.
Yeah. Well, Barry is, and people always go, it's, I guess it's a joke, like, oh, don't take me sailing, I'm Jewish, whatever. But you don't realize how much the Jewish upbringing is inherent in a human being,
right? Until
you live in Hollywood and you know a lot of Jewish people. It's like Simon Rex,
right?
Like I was like, I did not see him being Jewish at all until I texted him, and then I was like, oh, he's totally Jewish. Like he's Gary Goldman, he's Barry Cat.
How did you text? Tell me, that's so interesting.
Because I texted him and then I was like, hey man, I'd love you to do the podcast, and he was like, I'd love to, and he's like, and then he emailed me, what time? And I said, how about Tuesday? And he's like, great, like noon? And I was like, great. And he's like, give me directions. So I gave him directions, and he's like, is this going to be taped? Is this going to be like, he was very like micromanaging it. And I went, I did not see that part of your personality in your rap videos at all. All I saw was this Playboy party animal. And then you see, he's just a regular businessman. Any writer in Hollywood, any producer, any director, obsessing about the minutia.
Yes.
And then Barry has that, I think.
Jews micromanage.
Is it? I know I heard this on a podcast.
My wife is no. You're actually opening something up for me now. Jews do micromanage. I mean, that's like a quality about my wife that's good and bad. It's great, but it's also like, oh shit.
Marnie's an interesting person.
Sure.
She definitely. I remember her like on like the first week of the X show, her coming by a lot and micromanaging the fuck out of that. Like just being like, do you normally wear sweaters?
Wait, I had a moment the other day. This is good podcast. It's a good podcast moment. Let me tell you before I forget it.
Okay.
I've had a few eye-opening like realizations in my life about stuff. You ever have one of those?
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit, that's why that happened, and oh shit, and so I came across.
That's why you don't do coke in front of your children.
Right, exactly. I came across one that my friend pointed out to me. I was like, did you ever play baseball? We were talking about baseball. I was like, no, I never played. I said, I was a pitcher. I'm so not athletic, but I was a pitcher when I was 8 or 9, and I was fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I was the best in the league. And you don't expect that from me because I'm not a good athlete, whatever. But 8, 9, 10, 11, I was the shit in pitching because I could throw fast and I could throw strikes.
Yeah.
And if you could throw strikes, you could just blow it by them every time because most of the kids
if you could just throw 10 miles faster than the average kid, you were throwing gas.
That's exactly it. Oh, yeah, that's gas. So I was great. And I loved baseball. And I was like, I had a lot of confidence. And then when I turned like 12 or 13, like I couldn't throw the curve at all. So I stopped playing. And that was it. I fucking hate baseball now. And that was it. And my friend said, well, gee, wasn't that around the time that you got really fat? And I said, yeah. I said, shit, yeah, it was. So it was almost like I had like a midlife crisis when I was like 13.
Really?
Yeah. So we thought that would be the funniest scene in a movie where fucking kid is big 13-year-old fat kid, and he's like on his couch playing video games, and the coach comes to recruit him.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm done with that shit, man.
I gotta find myself.
Yeah. And the coach pulls him back, and he teaches him the curve.
Yeah.
And then there's a montage where he's like eating too many fucking cupcakes, and the coach is gonna swap the cupcakes away. I was like, that. And I was like, I was like, oh my god, that's weird. I had a midlife crisis when I was 12.
That's it's interesting. I think I pitched a show a long time ago about a guy who had a midlife crisis at 25.
Right,
a preemptive. He started it himself because
right.
his dad had one.
Yeah,
but that's
I remember that.
It's I think I
remember you told me about that.
But that's interesting because there is parts like that happen in a boy's growing up where you go, oh, that's just not me.
Right,
like when I was 16, I got really, really high for the first time. Like I got high. Been getting high. And I was that cool kid that would walk the streets of Copa Tiles, smoking a joint with our shirts off and just didn't give a fuck. And it was like, fuck it, let's throw a bowling ball through the back of a windshield. And then one night I got really high and I had a full-blown anxiety attack. And I was like, okay, I'm not that guy.
Right.
I'm definitely not that guy because that all that gives me, that makes me scared. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be a good person.
Yeah.
And I remember and I didn't smoke pot ever again as a child. And then maybe
you have a lot of neuroses for a non-Jew.
Dude, I think I'm definitely neurotic.
But you enjoy life at least. That's what I admire about you the most is I look at you and if I was going to say something at your funeral, I would say,
oh, I love this.
I would go, Bert showed me not that I ever was able to attain it, but showed me how to live a life. Like, you enjoy things that when I watch you, it's fucking pure joy. Like, I'm like, that guy, first of all, you bring happiness everywhere you go, but then you also enjoy things. And you like to go drinking. Like, I don't like to go drinking.
Really?
As fun. Like, maybe I would if I went with you, but like, I go out with my wife's friends, and I'm a fucking bore. I'm just like, I have nothing to say.
But you and I have a very similar.
But I need to be around creative people.
But you're creative as fuck.
I don't want to be the show. I just want to like be part of the show sometime. And like, I just need to be around like you or somebody that's funny. Like, then I have fun. But that's the only way I have fun is if I'm doing gags. Yeah.
Really?
Or having some sort of. I mean, I like hanging out.
Has Vine made you exponentially happier?
Vine's made me so much happier.
Really?
Yeah, because I've tried for so long to do this, and I was doing it the wrong way for so long.
Wait, let's like, for people that don't know you, let's kind of start back. So you started in straight stand up, right?
I started doing sketch, and I was okay at it, and then I had a sketch group and
with Blyden, and Price.
And we had a couple things going. Then I went on my own. I got a couple things going, but I never had an audience. And I was so stupid because the whole time I was like trying to please like people that I admired. You know, I wanted to please. I thought that, if I please the people I admire, they'll scoop me down and go, yes, come with me.
I wanted people like Janine Garofalo. Like Janine Garofalo.
Sure.
I wanted someone like her to watch my set and go,
I did
God
too.
damn, you're funny, and that's not the kind of comedy I like. I wanted her to say that. That never happens.
It never happened. And so I don't have any of that anymore, which is great. In fact, when I hang out with all the Vine kids, that's the number one thing.
Yeah.
They're like, but so-and-so said this. And I'm like,
I'm shocked.
I don't fucking care. Why do you care?
Andy Milonakis like talks about the people that comment on his videos.
Right.
I'm like, you have 14,000 comments. You're reading these? I have 7 and I don't read them. Like, I'm blown away that he actually.
You can't get into that.
I am so laissez-faire, if I can pronounce that right, with anything on the internet. I very seldomly read my tweets now, like my @replies, because it just isn't fair. I know that
I do read them and they don't bother me. I'm just like, okay.
Negative ones?
Yeah, the negative ones do not bother me.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can say. To me, and that maybe they haven't said it to me yet. But
maybe they just haven't found the right thing.
Maybe. What did they say to you that made you so upset?
The thing that really upset me. Then this is like, and I just say this. Look, this is a no cunty zone, so no one fucking just go, oh, that's his sweet spot. Let's go to that. I'm just being honest right now. So I did
It would be the people to take advantage of that.
Fucking they go, well, looks like old Hercules. Looks like old Samson.
They're going to swoop right in. Of course they're going to swoop right in.
So I posted a video with me and Isla, and someone just wrote, oh, you better get that kid to a dentist. And I was like, it's my kid. She's fucking 7. But I got defensive and I got upset and I was obsessing about it. And I was like, why am I even putting my kids in any videos? I shouldn't even put them in a video. Like, what's wrong with me that I'm being funny with my kids? And I was like, fuck that person. I am not going to allow, one person's, it's just some fucking 17-year-old kid.
Come on, man. It's a 9-year-old looking to say something. Steve Agee gets upset about it too. I was like,
seriously?
Steve, what are you worried about? Like,
he was one of the first guys on Vine. I often wonder sometimes if like Vine starts a thing and then they go to the kind of like the hot spots and be like, listen, Steve, Sarah, we need you guys to make this very popular. We've invested a lot of money in this app.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah.
But when did you get on Vine?
Like April.
April. How many followers do you have now? Like,
I have 270.
Nice.
It's fine.
What was the video that turned it around?
It's just been, what the thing is, great. When I had 5,000, it was great.
Yeah.
Just to be able to like do a little bit of yourself and get feedback and then find out what people like, it's the best. And I just never had that. That's the point of the story.
This is the difference between me and you, is that me and you are the same person. When we go out to when we went to the Dodgers game, we're the same person.
Yeah.
Or I think really integrally, the way we interact with our wives is the same. I feel like our wives are more adult than we are in every situation.
Sure.
We're the ones in the backyard fucking around with the cousin that's been sleeping on a couch laughing, and our wives are in there talking about, remaking a kitchen.
Sure.
But the very big difference with you is you are someone that has an idea and you always follow through.
I got to. It makes me crazy if I don't, and I beat myself up if I don't follow through with it, and then it eats at my brain.
I wanted to start a podcast in
even the bad ones.
2004 when I first heard about it, 2006 when I first heard about it. And
I remember you had
called. No, I never even did it. I called you. I was like, and I talked to you. Like, oh, I have a podcast. Come be on my podcast.
Right.
And you had a podcast back when the idea of recording onto a computer didn't make sense.
Yeah,
like that. And I remember you explaining, no, you got to change the metronome and you got to sync it out because it's going to be longer. You're going to trust me about this. And I was like, I still can't figure it out.
Right.
How do you get three mics into the computer? I remember, and you've been doing one for what?
I stopped.
You're done now?
I'm done.
Really?
It's too much work. And it's like, it's hard.
Fucking pain in the ass.
It's such a pain in the
When
ass.
you texted me and said you could do tonight, I was so happy.
Yeah.
I didn't do one last week, and all I got was people just hammering me like, I'm like,
I'll come anytime.
I'm busy as fuck.
I'll come anytime and just listen to you talk, actually.
Oh,
It's like my favorite thing to do. When I talk to you, Bert, I feel like I can shut off. I swear to God.
Really?
You have the most soothing quality about you. I think it's because you remind me of people that I grew up with. Like, there were a lot of guys like you that grew up, like, people think I'm funny. Where I fucking came from, there's like fucking 8 people funnier than me.
You're from Boston, right?
Yeah. Like, in my school, people were so fucking funny.
Really?
Yeah. Even the toughest kid was funny.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
do you
that
think,
Boston,
why do you think people
like,
in Boston are funny?
because they want to take you down. So if they can't physically take you down, so they figure, they will like take you down, verbally.
Wait, did you start doing sketch in Boston?
I guess what I'm trying to say is smart townie, like smart townies, like like the fucking this guy that talks like this, but he's got like references, like Colin Quinn.
Yeah.
Colin Quinn's like so blue collar, but then his references are like, oh my God,
Colin Quinn's one of the fucking smartest dudes.
He's probably my favorite comedian.
Oh, he's easily my favorite.
And I wish I still knew him because he's so fucking. I listen to Open Anthony a lot.
I used to. I canceled my subscription.
I canceled mine too.
Yeah, I canceled mine because they were. I mean, I'll be very blunt. They were hiding Opie and Anthony. Like, I could never find the thing because my subscription has started through XM or.
But maybe
Sirius.
you only had Howard. That's why.
But I still listen to Howard. But and I'm just being honest. He's not on enough. And I'm not in the car enough. So the one time I am in the car, I can't get him. And
I fell in love with Howard. That's why I did the podcast because
Really?
I got satellite.
Howard is,
and I was not a huge fan before. Not I wasn't a huge fan. I just didn't listen. Like, I lived in New York before that, so I never had the radio on.
Yeah,
but I lived in the city.
When I first moved out here, started doing the X show, they were playing Howard in the mornings on like 97 something.
Yeah.
So I would listen to Howard, and I was like, this guy's fucking amazing. And then I had a period off, and then Vincent Nastry, my manager, would tape Howard and send them to me. There's fucking tapes when you could put a tape in a car.
Oh my God.
And so, and then. When he got on XM or on Sirius, I'd get.
That's when I got it.
That's when I got it. And he does an interview. He's fucking amazing. He did an interview with Nick Carter and Justin Carter, or the other Carter.
Yeah.
The guy from the Backstreet Boys and his little brother.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I would never want to listen to these fucking kids.
Yeah.
And I'm in a fucking car driving through upstate New York, mesmerized, fuck, these guys are interesting as shit. It's just because he made them interesting. He pretended to be interested in them, and then all of a sudden they were fucking fascinating.
He just interviewed John Legend. I don't give a shit about John Legend. By the end,
fucks.
I was hanging on every word. I was like,
are you serious?
I love John Legend. I swear to God. I don't like John Legend.
Yeah.
But then he got him to play this like Springsteen song. He did Dancing in the Dark really slow. I was like, oh, that was awesome.
Dude, I listened to, he did the, they aggregated all the interviews they did with all the TV stars and then clumped all the TV stars together into the shows. So they're like, today's interview, all Seinfeld. So it was like,
oh, wow.
And there was all the interviews he had ever done with all the Seinfeld people, but just back to back to back. And I think Gary Delabonte might have like hosted it and weaved it in and out.
Oh, no
it was fucking fantastic.
It was on Today?
No, this was when we were in Sturgis and we were driving through the fucking.
What'd you do at Sturgis? Did you perform?
No, I just did Sturgis. I rode a motorcycle from Montana to Sturgis.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking insane, dude. There's no.
See what I mean? I could never do that.
There is no, but I didn't do it for fun. I did it for my show. But
still,
there is no. I was saying to Leanne yesterday.
Was it fun?
Oh, it was a fucking blast.
The best.
Oh,
I hate motorcycles, and I would consider doing that.
Oh, it was. I was terrified of motorcycles.
What kind of bike did you have? Did you fall down?
I had an awesome bike. I had a Victory Judge. Things like a fucking muscle car. You literally feel your balls barking at you when you crank it. Just and I would fucking punch it. We were out in Crow territory where there's no speed limit, and I would just punch it, get up to 90, and like let go and be like, no, slow down. It was absolutely one of the greatest thrills of my life.
Oh, Bert.
I was telling someone, this, my buddy Craig, who wrote a book that I should fucking have handy and tell you exactly what the name of it was, and you could get it. Something about being a man. But he came to my show in Dayton, and we were like shooting the shit, and he was like, did you enjoy the whatchamacallit? And I was like, dude, let me tell you, one of the best experiences. He goes, hold on. He goes, you've done a lot of fucking crazy shit. So when you tell me best experiences, I kind of want to take a pause and like hear about it. And I was like, no, it was fucking amazing. One of the best days of my life. Jason, I'm gonna open this fucking door.
How long is the ride?
It was fucking long as shit. I'm just hoping Pris doesn't come in. Pris is my fucking monster dog.
Yeah, we got to get some air in here.
Yeah. So it's 109 in the valley today. These guys. So it's a little fucking warm. So what was I just saying?
Talking about Sturgis.
Greatest experience of my life, and I only say this because I know that you're a fan too.
Well, if you're having fun, I love it.
No, but
I love watching you have fun.
It's
the closest I'll ever get.
We took the bikes up into Crow territory, up through like the Black Hills, and it was, I don't know why they call them black because they were red, but it was canyoning. We were going to the canyons. We were going to the top of the mountain to get a helicopter to fly over and find some buffalo. And we were going through the canyons, and it was great. It was so cool, and I was like, wow, this is really an amazing experience. We stopped the bikes, get in the helicopter, go over, come back, get dropped back off at the bikes, and we've got to take them down. And I have the most amazing headsets. They're fucking noise reduction to the 10th degree. I throw them in my helmet. I put on Wilco.
Which one?
The one with the camel on it.
I don't know the album covers, but I know what you mean. Yeah, it was like a later one.
This
like not Impossible Germany and all that. The one after.
No, it's the here. I'll tell you.
Is
right
that the
now.
one that goes? It's cold and I want to be.
No, this is the song that started playing. This one.
Oh, you were listening to that on the motorcycle?
In my headsets, just flying through the hills. I'm just fucking doing 70.
Oh my god.
Yup. Right. I'm fucking flying. Jason, swear to you on my children, wild horses are running next to us. I swear on my children. I'm like, fucking wild horses. Sun setting, it's getting cooler. I can feel the temperature change when you hit a thing, right? Fucking punching it, hitting corners, leaning into them, and I have Jeff Tweedy in my ear.
Wow.
Love this right here, right? Coming out of a corner, punch it. I don't care if my podcast takes down because I just played Jeff Tweedy.
You got to keep going.
It was the greatest.
Then what else did you listen to? What else did you do?
This was the song that really got me into it.
By the way, what you just did, like recreating a moment with a song, it's maybe my favorite thing. I love it.
This song.
More Wilco.
Yeah. Oh, I just listened to fucking Wilco. I listened to Wilco, and then when I'd ride through the cities.
Yeah. What else do you listen to?
I'd listen to. This is my fucking jam right now. I'd ride through the cities and listen to this. Just like a Rough Rider.
Sure. Yeah, Bert in the house.
Yeah. I said we walk up in the beach, balling in the beach. It was fucking amazing.
I love this so much.
We went to Sturgis. We went and saw Leonard Skinner. Fucking
no, you didn't.
Dude. Amazing. I kept vining. It was Leonard Skinner, and it's all motorcycles. So anytime they'd stop, everyone would just riv their motorcycles as their lighter, just and everyone's got loud pipes. It is. Oh my god! It was one of the coolest experiences. I go to Sturgis any fucking time, and it's like I didn't know.
How long is the ride?
It was a while. It was a couple days because we stopped.
Couple
and
days.
We weaved in and out, and we went different places.
Yeah.
And because we had activities planned, and we went fly fishing. I mean, I probably shouldn't tell the episode, but we did a lot of really fucking cool stuff. But riding the bikes was like the coolest. The connective tissue of getting us from point A to point B made me and the travelers connect better than I ever have with any traveler. Because you're like, it's sometimes you're not even shooting, but you're riding bikes, and we had headsets connected to the van, so we could talk to the van, or we could talk to each other. It was amazing. It was fucking amazing.
An amazing way to do it. Yeah.
Oh, it was great. And then you get to Sturgis, and it is, if it's like I said to someone, it's like coming out of the closet because I didn't know I liked bikes until then.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Whoa, I'm into bikes." Like it's just like coming out of the closet. You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, I could fuck all these bikes."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It was amazing. But yeah, so that I've been a little obsessed with motorcycles now because
You got one?
You know what? I had talked to Leanne about it. She is not a fan of the idea.
You can ask me what I think about it.
What do you think?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you have 2 little kids, and you're just
know.
asking for trouble.
I know.
I mean, that's where I come down hard and fast on that, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I told Blyden every day when he had a motorcycle, I was like,
Blyden had a motorcycle?
Yeah, get rid of the motorcycle.
So wait, what's Blyden doing now?
It's just not safe. I don't see them coming.
Oh, I don't. I almost hit one today.
Yeah.
I almost hit one
Yeah,
today.
that could be you.
We were just going to the car wash, and I pulled up, and I just was. I didn't even come close to hitting him, but I rolled up, and he flew by.
Yeah.
And it was just. And I was like, "Woo, that was." It wasn't even that close, but it was close.
Sure, close enough.
And that guy was like, "Motherfucker."
Yeah.
I didn't have any scares on the motorcycle at all.
How could they not see me on this toothpick I'm riding?
Yeah, but I got to be honest with you, man. We rode Indians through the hills too.
Yeah.
The brand new Indian Chief. Oh my God, it was one of the most.
You met the Indian chief?
Yeah, I did actually,
Is that what you're saying?
dude. I did.
Did you break bread with him and shit?
Met the chief of the Crow Nation.
Oh, shit, man.
So, but you want to know something amazing? We're trying to make it to this thing.
Yeah.
I should definitely. I don't care. This is totally fine to talk about. But the chief wants to get us to this thing. We got our travelers and we got everything. And we're like, we got to get there. And the chief's, and we're on Crow territory. The chief's going 100 miles an hour, and he just says, "Follow us." So everyone in our whole crew is going 100 miles an hour down this 2-lane highway, and a cop
On the bike?
No, the bikes were trailered because we were running late.
What were you doing 100 in?
Vans.
A van.
Fucking vans. We're doing 100 in vans. We're flying.
With the chief.
The chief is ahead of us in an Escalade, and we are following him. And we blow past a cop at 100 miles an hour.
No.
And the cop flies to... He is having a hard time, literally. We did not slow down. We just kept going.
Did you see him?
Totally saw him.
And you kept going?
Totally kept going.
Oy.
So we know in our head we're on Indian territory. Like we're on a reservation. I'm sure there's a jurisdiction thing, but the top headlights come on. He passes in our whole caravan. Passes the last car. Passes the next car. Passes the next car. Pulls over the front 2 cars. The chief being one of them, and another one. The chief, as they pull over, we pull over in front of them. The chief gets out of his car. The cop is still in his car. Think about getting out of the car for a cop. He gets out of his car, goes over to the cop. As the cop's getting out, puts his hand on his shoulder, says something. The cop gets back in his car, and the chief waves us on, and we all fucking go. I go, we get to our next location. I go, "What the fuck did you say to the cop?" He goes, "I told him I am chairman of the Crow Nation. These are my guests. Thank you for your service." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yes, we will be going now." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Crow Nation in the house.
Yeah. It was
You
fucking...
don't fuck with Crow Nation, baby.
Dude, he took us to the place where Custard had his last stand.
Really?
Yeah, Custard or Mustard? Custard.
Custard.
Custard. I'm thinking of the Clue. So,
Oh, man. You get some good stories.
dude, it was fantastic. I mean, it was a really good time. But, I mean, yeah, what kind of bike did Blyden have?
I don't remember.
So Blyden, just for anyone who knows, Blyden is one of Jason's really good friends. Really interesting dude.
I have 2
Director.
questions.
He directed Rogan's first comedy special.
Yeah.
Shiny Happy Jihad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, what bike did he have?
Oh, I don't know.
Can't see him on a Ninja. He'd have to
it
have like a
wasn't-
cafe racer.
It wasn't anything too flashy. I'll tell you that much.
I bet it was like a Triumph.
I think it was like a beginner's bike or something.
Really?
Well, not a beginner's, but it looked like something that was pretty. I don't know anything about bikes.
So okay, so
Wait, I wanted to ask you a couple questions.
Shoot.
So after you go out and do stand up and you get off at 11:30 at night,
yes.
do you still have the desire in you to like hit the crowd? Do you do that for you, or do you not do that anymore, or do you enjoy that, or do you do it and you do not like it?
What do you mean?
After you do a set and you go hang out for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And you're in another city.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
And you don't enjoy it on a. You do enjoy it on a real hanging out level, not like I'm trying to improve my career.
No. There's no career improvement to be had.
Right. You really enjoy just hanging.
Yeah.
I don't know where I lost that. I wish I still had it. Like if I was with you and you were like, let's hang out,
and you'd love it.
I would love it
because
it's almost like I'm a baby. Like I need an entertainer.
Here's what it is. A lot of times what it is like so I was just in Seattle and I was with, I'm gonna fuck your name up. I know it. I'm sorry, but I was with Big Irish Jay.
Yeah.
He's
Jay Okerson.
No, not Jay Okerson. There's another, but. I kept wanting to call him Big Irish Joe, only so I didn't confuse them. But I think that I'm almost certain. When I did his podcast, he's a great guy. But we hung out every night after the show. But what was happening was we were hanging out, and then we were hanging out with other people. And I know a lot of these people that are like fans or fans of the podcast or whatever. And we all hang out. But ultimately, what's happening is that he's making me laugh. I'm making him. It's just comics hanging out, and there just happen to be other people around too for the most of the time. And then there's like a special time where like a friend of mine, Jill, was there with her husband, and I know them. Or like the couple that I took to Scotland, Sean and motherfucker, I'm so bad with names.
Why did you take a couple to Scotland?
For trip flip.
Oh right.
Yeah. Kirsten, Sean and Kirsten came out, and I hung out with them. But like I know them. But most of the times it's me hanging out with the other comics, and it's just comics hanging out with comics. It's like the shorthand. Yeah, the shorthand you have with a comic. It's such a safe place to be. Yeah. You're never gonna offend him. You're never gonna. You feel totally comfortable.
Right.
It's like I run into comics in the airport all the time, and it's such an easier conversation to have.
Yeah.
Like it's
There's a lack of warmth in every relationship I've had with a comedian. You're different, but you're one of my only. You're one of my only friends that I kind of broke the wall. I felt like I broke, or you broke through my wall, or whatever. Like I feel safe around you, but most comics I don't.
There are I would say 80% of the comics. There are a lot of comics that have that looking over the shoulder energy.
I don't like that.
Where you go to the Hollywood Improv and they're looking over your shoulder to see who's walking through the door. That I can't stand. But that's why I just pick the seat that you can't do that to.
Right.
Or like I find the person like Nick Swartzen never's fucking looking over your shoulder.
Right.
He's just sitting there talking to you. You know, like
I agree.
Yeah, and like I find those people to hang out with. There are those people that are just fucking exhausting. That you're like, seriously? But
I know so many.
Oh, but like I was talking to my buddy Brant the other day, Brant Tobler. He was at the Hollywood Improv, and it was just like it was really nice to like. I like that. I like that in comics. It's like a shared set of and I say this and I mean this like. You don't get it. You can't just get it by doing stand up. You can't just become a stand up and be famous and be touring because you have a show and then you can just go hang out with comics. It's just something that you get that is just it's like a set of shared failures in your life that they know to, and if you're in the right situation, you can have a great time talking to them.
Yeah, I got to try more.
I don't hit the clubs at all.
And then I can't go to bed so late either.
Well, yeah. Well,
what time do you go to bed?
On the road?
Yeah.
Fucking really late.
Really?
Yeah.
Like 4?
Yeah.
Is that catching up with you at all?
It is. It's not. It's not. But
that is amazing.
I'll tell you what's catching up with me is like I have a hard time. I have a hard time pulling the curtain back. Like because I want people to believe the thing that they think I am.
Sure.
Sure. Like I don't mind that, and because I looked at Attell, I use Attell as my thing, and I'm sorry if Dave doesn't want to be used as this example, but like Attell was my guy, where I was like, dude,
best.
I want to be him when I grow up. Like when I was a young comic, I was like, dude, I bet his nights are fucking insane. Truthfully, I've had friends that are good friends with him. He's just a regular fucking dude. No superhero power happens. He's just a regular guy.
Right.
But So I have a hard time pulling back the curtain and going like, this is the thing that makes me scared. But like I was in Seattle and we went.
So what do you mean hard time pulling back the curtain? You mean like when
I don't want to tell them all the I don't want to tell them like, oh, I don't know. I don't want it to be too honest. I want the mystery to be there.
Right.
But there are times, like in Seattle's a perfect example. I come in, do one show. I fly in from fucking Denver. I drank on the plane. I go in to do one show Thursday night. I drink at the show, and we stay out real late. I wake up at 4. I go to bed at 4, wake up at 6 to do radio, and they just happen to have moonshine at radio, so we drink moonshine. I take a nap, and at like 4 in the afternoon, this great vodka distiller, because I'm trying to do this vodka deal, is like, hey, we've got a tasting at the club. Why don't you come over and taste some vodka? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I got to fucking work out. I have workout clothes on.
Sure.
I was like, I need to work out. I need to make sure I'm fucking healthy. But then you got this like vodka tasting, and you're like, fuck it, let's go to a vodka tasting. And then I have 2 shows at night. But there's a part
Now,
of
how do you do that? How do you go do the shows?
I don't, it's like, I try not to, I never go on stage drunk. So like if I do drink, I will definitely have a nap before I go on stage. But I definitely have been on stage drunk. Like I've fallen off the DC Improv stage a couple times. Like, yeah. I fell off the Tampa Improv stage. These were all dancing. Like I was dancing in the middle of a bit trying to get the... And
all right.
So it wasn't like I fucking falling off like stumbling. But
you should say that.
yeah. So, that's the mystery.
Big difference.
All someone says is, did you hear about the time Bert fell off the stage at DC? And someone goes, shut up. That show must have been insane. Sadly, I just was sick. I was with Steve Byrne. I bumped into him and fell off this fucking stage. But yeah.
And so you love that. You love hanging out. You know, the best conversation I had? We had a good conversation once. We were driving back from Roller Coaster Game Show, and you said you were telling me a lot of inside stuff about stand-up. That was, I don't know if you've ever revealed that.
What was that?
I don't know. You were just telling me like all these fucking really neat secrets that I was like, oh yeah, that I'd never thought of.
There are a lot of...
Like, I know the analogy you had was the best. You were like, you had this great analogy. You go, every night I go out in the boat. He's like, and I got all my jokes in the boat. I never forgot this. I got all my jokes in the boat.
I love this analogy, too.
And then I leave all the jokes in the boat, and I just start swimming out. He's like, and I just see how far I can swim out before I got to go back to the boat.
Yeah.
And then if you're out far enough, it was the best analogy.
That's exactly how I do it.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I do every single show. I have a boat full of jokes
Right.
that I take out in the ocean. And that's getting on stage. And then I get out of the boat, and I try to see how far I can swim away from the boat. And my goal is to go, I can't even fucking find the boat anymore. Like, to your point, where that if you do tell a joke, it seems like bullshit. Really? And everyone's like, oh, I love that. When you get to a place where you're having such a real... I did something on stage the other night. It was one of the fucking greatest things I've ever done.
Tell me.
God, I wish there was more energy on my phone. This is okay. It's got to be on my phone. So I said to the audience, it was a mixed crowd, a lot of African American people.
Yeah,
and we were having a really good time. And someone asked me to buy them a drink. Like I had gotten a shot. And
how do you loosen up an all black crowd? What would you say?
I just be myself. I'm really good with black. I'm not. I say really good with black people, but like I'm very honest, and I honestly think that's how people want to be treated. Is they just don't want to be lied to or pandered to. Because I don't want to be lied or pandered to, so I just don't lie or pander to them. So I said, I'll tell you what. I will buy any black person in the room a shot. I will buy your table a round of shots if you can tell me who sings this song. Silence. Literally silence. And I was like, anybody. Nobody. And then I go, white people, start singing with it. Every white person in the room.
No, you didn't.
Sister Christian, all the... So I said, then I swear to God, Jason, I swear to you, I said, okay, next one. I will give anyone... I will buy. Same deal happens with black people. If you can just tell me a letter out of this guy's name. Just a letter. Silence. All of a sudden, one brother stands up in the back. A. I go, wrong. Wrong. Fucking, I felt like Vanna White. Little too tall. Could have used a few pounds.
That's a little too tall. Could have used a few pounds.
Fucking best.
So then the black people were loving it because they were like, do another one.
Black people were like,
they were fucking loving it because they were like, because what was happening is all the white people were like, knew all the lyrics, and the black people were like, I've never heard this song in my life, and they're like, I can't believe that that's something you have listened to, And
This is where you started the show.
No. This was like 10 minutes in.
Is this a bit that you've done before?
Nope.
Or just came to you on stage?
Just came to me, and I was like, "This is." It was so great. So then, I let the black people come up and play songs that the white people didn't know, which was even fucking better because they'd play a song that all the black people know, and then all the black people are up dancing and singing and fucking, and all the white people are like, and the white people are like Jay-Z, and they're like wrong.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was the greatest fucking like mix of talking about race without being racist.
Right.
You know, just saying like, look, there are differences. There are inherent differences in the way we've all grown up.
Yeah, you did it in a great way.
It was so fucking awesome. I ended up buying everyone shots or buying the people that the song that I played. This was the song that the first black table got. It's fucking so funny because I was like,
how did you know how did you look it up? They whisper it in your ear?
What's that?
They would just whisper the song.
No, they just yell it.
Oh.
They just stand up and go. So this was the one. This is the song where a black guy definitely got this one. This was, and you're gonna. This is almost funny that this was the one they got. So
Devil went down to Georgia.
yeah, Charlie Daniels. And so that was then. So I bought his table around shots. But the best was, when this black lady came up on stage and had her songs, and she was playing them, and they were like whatever was current, that that just white people don't know about. And it was fucking brilliant. It was it was like one of those moments where you're so far away from the boat. Then when that gets done with that moment, you're like, how do I go back into material?
Right.
Like, what do I like? Hey, does anyone like?
And then what
blowjobs?
happens? Now when you go back into material, what happens?
You got to weave it.
You just kind of weave it in.
Yeah, you got to weave it. And I feel like I learned how to do that by watching guys like Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I only say Chappelle because he's like one of the fucking greats.
Well, what would he do?
Chappelle was so good at making you feel like he came up with a joke in that moment.
Right.
And so it's a cheat, but like he would say something to someone and someone would say something back, and it was like the way he just would be like just roll right into it like off the top of his head. So then I would find I always have a few go-to things where I feel like I can jumpstart it and get back into material, but it doesn't feel like material. Or you just find a conversation that you have something about, like But that was really a beautiful fucking. You can only there's certain places where you're not going to get big mixed audiences. Like there's not a lot of diversity in my Seattle shows.
I have a couple of new black friends.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you, I was trying to put my finger on it the other day. I don't care if this sounds whatever this sounds like.
That's the terrifying thing. I had Kamal Bell on my show, and he said, what sucks so bad is that we don't ever have these conversations when there isn't something hot going on. But the truth is, everyone should. No one has ill will in their heart. I
felt so enriched by having these black people in my life, and I don't know why. I really was trying to search myself. Like, I was pitching this bit to this black comic, and he didn't like really get the bit. And maybe it's not that funny, but I was like, when a white person comes up to me and asks directions, I'm like, yeah, you go down there and go on Sunset. But if a black person comes up and asks me directions, I'm like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
What do you need to know?
Grab my hand.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
Grab my hand.
Yeah, exactly. Grab my hand. And the black person was like, oh, why? Because you have to talk down to us? I'm like, no, because I'm so happy to have a connection.
Yeah.
But what is that?
I said to someone, and I'm sure I've said this on the podcast, but I've said to someone, it's the same thing when you tell a joke that is edgy, it's about race, and you have like an older black man come up and tell you that he likes you what you do.
Right.
Oh, dude, I had a black dude in Denver come up to me after my show. This is when I talked about race.
Older guy?
Probably a lot more. Yeah, older, in his 60s, like 67. Came up to me and gave me his fucking badge. He had these like this like badge he had for being a Denver cop, and he was retired, and it was like a badge / keychain. It sounds really weird, but he gave it to me and he goes, I want you to keep that. If you're ever in town, you ever need anything, all my information's on there. Like, you get me. Like, it was like the greatest fucking moment ever. And then I lost the badge that night. I was so bummed out. I was like, I couldn't find it.
You got to tell him on here if he's listening to contact you.
If you're listening, older, big dude But
that's amazing. I mean, and that's how I felt to have any kind of connection.
The story I tell about the knock scratch, I don't know if you've heard that.
No, what is that?
I'll tell it in case someone hasn't heard it, but if you have heard it, I now tell this on stage, so I don't even care. But I first told it on Rogan's podcast. It was just something that just happened. It was like a fucking something that happened, and Rogan was taking a piss, and so I was telling Brian, and then Rogan came in on the end of it, and then it became something now that is like a bit that I do. I was checking into a hotel in Louisville, and I had like 4 bags, and this young black, and I why do I say he's black? Because of that same thing, the connection.
Right.
So this young black kid is the bellhop, and he comes and grabs my bags, grabs all 4 of them, puts them in the thing, wheels them into the elevator, and you got to let him take him to the room. He's earned the tip. You can't go, I got it from here. So we take him all the way up the elevator. We don't really speak at all. We get out of the elevator on like the 14th floor, 13th floor, whatever floor we're on. People go, oh, they're on the 13th floor. There was. I've been in a lot of hotels with 13 floors lately. So we get off, and as we get out of the elevator, all of a sudden the elevator doors next to us open, and 5 seconds after we get out, a white older gentleman like walks out right behind us. So he's kind of like 5 steps behind us. As we go down and take a left, he takes a left also, and he's now 5 steps behind us for the whole walk. And my room happens to be the last room at the end of the hall. So for the whole way, he's trailing us like George Zimmerman, just fucking everywhere we go, just following us, not because he just is going wherever the fuck. We don't know until I get to my door, and it turns out his door is directly next to mine.
Oh, God.
So this whole thing's been uncomfortable as shit, but now we're right next to each other, and it's almost light, and then I lean over to the guy, and I go, hey, man, to the old white guy, I go, hey, listen, if you want, we can open up that connecting door, and we can hang out this weekend. Like, as a joke, trying to get the young black kid to laugh.
Right.
And the guy's, like, freaked out, and he's can't get his key to work. He's like, no, thanks. I go, think about it, man. When was the last time you made a new friend? We'll open the door, get to know each other, see who goes to sleep first. And he's like, and now he's like really spooks. And he's like, no, I definitely don't want that. And I was like, come on, man, could be fun. So he wakes up in the mornings, and now he gets into his door and he goes, I don't want that. And as he goes to get into his room, I stop him and I go, listen, if you change your mind, just knock and scratch. And he goes, I definitely don't want that. Shuts the door. I look over to see if I made the kid laugh. He's already in the fucking room. I just did this for nothing. I now look like a fucking lunatic to my neighbor because I was trying to make this I was trying to have a connection. So I go into the room, and the kid's putting up all my bags, and he puts up the last bag, and I go in to give him a tip, and he goes, no, sir, you don't have to do that. I go, I have to. You brought him all the way up. And he goes, no, it's not mandatory. I said, no, I have to. And he goes, no, please, you don't. I said, I do. And he goes, no, just knock and scratch. I go, what?
Yeah.
He goes, just knock and scratch. So me and this kid go up to the door, like right up to it, and I knock and I scratch, and you hear on the other side this guy go, I don't want to fucking hang out, man. I thought this kid was going to die from laughing. He laughed so hard his Bellman hat fell off his head, and he could just go, do it again. So but it's that connection. You want, whatever it is, you want to do that. And the crazy part is that normally black people don't really care to have that connection. Like they're just regular, but white people have this guilt or something.
I guess that's what it is.
But my family wasn't even, I'm Irish.
It's not that I'm guilty about it.
Right.
Listen, I'm not going around thinking about black people in slavery.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I don't think about it.
Yeah.
But it is that thing, like you want to, I don't know.
But you've always had a fairly diverse group of friends.
No.
Yeah.
I had no.
Really?
One by Jerry Miner's my only black friend, and Brandon.
So funny.
That's
The one I was going to mention.
Yeah.
Jerry
I went to
Miner.
UMass, all white people. My high school.
You and
all
Jerry
white
Miner
people.
have a really funny story. I don't know if you can talk about it.
Which one is that?
You told it about your bachelor party.
Jesus, I don't remember.
I don't want to tell it because I don't want Jerry Miner to.
I don't know what it was.
It was the night you guys thought you were doing,
Yeah.
but you were doing. Can you tell that story? It's funny. What's even funnier is the way Jerry Miner tells it because. Do you remember the story?
Oh yeah. I'll try to tell it really quick.
But yeah,
It's a bad story.
It's a funny fucking story, especially from Jerry's perspective.
I'll try to tell as best I can and quickly. We had got crystal meth.
On accident, correct?
No, we knew it was crystal meth, but I didn't really know that crystal meth was that serious.
Yeah.
Like I kind of thought crystal meth, it's like cocaine.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize. And also Jerry, who was like smarter than me, but I would have expected more from Jerry.
I'm sweating. I'm laughing.
He
so hard.
also was like, yeah, crystal meth, cocaine.
Yeah.
So I I think what happened was that we snorted it like cocaine and not like crystal meth. That's what happened. So instead of like 4 lines, 1 quarter of a line of crystal meth is what you're supposed to have. And we had 4 lines, like we would cocaine, like we read the recipe wrong. And so it was like a Saturday night, and we just took off at like 8 o'clock at night. And it was the greatest Saturday night. Like, you were like, oh my God, am I Bradley Cooper in that fucking movie?
Yeah.
Limitless? Like, you're just exploding with joy, and you're like, oh my God, you think like, I've turned into another person. You're going to be different. Yeah. I'm going to be rich and successful. And then it got to be like 6 a.m., and we were like, couldn't even dream of going to sleep. Like we had just gotten up and had a 12 hours. Like at Earth Cafe at like 5:55 in the morning. Like, ding, ding, ding. And not like strung out. Not like, bing, bang, what's up, man? Like, whoa, yeah. Hey, man, we'll be down here. Cool. See you then.
Yeah.
You know? And the guy's like, it's like one Mexican dude like opening up the restaurant.
Oh.
What's up, man? How's it going?
That's fucking great.
And then Jerry was up for like 3 days, and I was up for like
the best
2 days.
The best part of the story is that Jerry, because he told us at your bachelor party, is where I heard the story.
He did,
and he was like, I got really scared, and like he didn't tell your perspective because he went to the hospital.
He went to the doctor.
He went to the hospital. And was like,
doctor was like, yeah, you took too much.
And then he called you, and you're like, I just got back from the gym. I'm feeling great, man. I wrote a script.
Those are a good 3 days.
Oh, that was so fun. That was one of the fucking most funny, like the most interesting, like, because it is kind of a perspective of you. I do feel like things roll off your shoulders, like roll off your back.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. What do you? I don't know. I never think about that.
You don't seem like the kind of guy that obsesses too much.
I don't obsess too much. I can't. I love when someone tells a story about you that is like completely gives a different perspective. You're like, oh, that's what happened to you? Oh no. And I heard that later.
I tell this story about do you know Kurt Metzger?
Of course. I love Kurt Metzger.
I tell the story about Kurt Metzger that is my favorite story ever.
I really like him.
And he and we were in Montreal, and I started telling the story, and he was in the room because it's my favorite Kurt Metzger story. And he's like, hey man, I get done telling the story. He goes, can I tell you something? He's like, Jay and I don't want to break your heart, but because Jay Okerson's the one that told me the story.
Yeah.
And he goes, but that's not how it happened. And he goes, and we didn't want to let you down because we know that's your favorite story.
Oh, no way.
But that's not how it happened at all.
Oh, no.
And I was like, are you fucking serious? And he was like, yeah. He was like,
Wait, which story was this?
Oh, it's my favorite fucking Kurt Metzger story. Clearly, I am adding way too much backstory into this story. How would I ever have any perspective of any of this?
Sure.
But this is right when we all start. Like they were in from Philly, and I had been working the door at the Boston Comedy Club, and we were all hanging out late night. Like every night, we'd all hang out at the Bag It In underneath the Boston Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Patrice, Kurt, Big J, Louis Schaefer, maybe Bobby if he was floating around, maybe. Tony Woods, Godfrey, whoever was doing the late set everyone would end up down there because that's where we'd just take all the girls.
Right.
But I never really saw like Norton. Norton never. He was always at the cellar. But and so Jay and I were hanging out with Kurt, and I learned a lot about Kurt, like that he was not a Mennonite, but Christian Scientologist. Christian.
Yeah.
It was a thing that you can't go to the doctor if you're sick, and they don't celebrate birthdays. Mm-hmm. That whatever that is, Christian Scientist.
Yeah, Christian Scientist.
So he got a cat when he stopped following the religion, moved to New York to doing stand up. He got a cat. He had this very sheltered kind of upbringing a tad bit, but he got this cat. Him and Jay were living together, and then him and Jay had to move out, and Jay was like stressing about it for like the week leading up. He's like, man, I don't know what the fuck Kurt's gonna do with this cat because the place he's moving to doesn't let him take cats.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not fucking taking the cat. I never wanted the cat in the first place. Jay strolls into the fucking club one night just stomping like, fucking Kurt. And I go, what? And he goes, he fucking let the cat go. I go, what? He goes, he let it go. We live in fucking Queens. You can't just let a cat go. You're fucking stomping at the front door. You gotta get out of here, you stupid cat. Just like that fucking orphan Annie. Get away, stupid dog. Stupid cat, just run away. And I could not stop laughing because I kept envisioning Kurt just stomping his foot in his pajamas going, get away, cat. I don't love you anymore. It's not working. The truth of the story is Kurt gave the cat to his dad, but I just loved that story so much that it made me laugh so hard envisioning Kurt doing that. And Kurt's like, yeah, I gave it to my cat. And then he tells the story. He's like, yeah, my parents, like it was a very depressing story when I heard it. I think he told it on Pete Holmes' podcast. But it was one of my favorite Kurt's. Kurt's really interesting.
What did you add to it?
I have apparently everything.
Oh, really?
Apparently none of that happened. Like I've done this before where someone tells me a story and then I stop them and I start telling the end. Where like they'll go like Tom Segura does it all the time. He'll tell me a story and I'll go then this happened.
Yeah.
Like or I'll just as a comic like improving an ending to it, but I forget that it's an event that actually happened in someone's life, and then I'm just adding to the ending. But
Marnie does that. She'll take the story away. Like you'll be like, so anyways, I was down at the deli. She's like, my dad owned a deli. And you're like, no. I'm trying to tell you about when I was down at the deli.
God, that's fucking genius.
Yeah, it's awful.
You'll start a story and she just fucking slides it in front of her plate.
Yeah, it's amazing. You have to see it.
Really?
She's also great at eavesdropping.
Really?
It's like a sport for her. She's so good at it.
When you guys go out to eat, do you guys just sit across from people?
Yeah, here, you be me and I'll be Marnie. And let's just start telling me about your day.
So, man, I had a super...
She does that. And that means stop talking and I've got something on my radar.
Are you?
And let's listen in.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And I wish everyone knew Marnie.
We would listen in for and then we'll listen for 5 minutes. She's really into it.
She's good at eavesdropping.
She's so nosy. I mean, that's like would be the most boring conversation. And she'd be like, she doesn't want to be with them.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't get that from that. She's like, no, that's what it is.
Oh, I do.
Do you do that?
No, the thing I do is I will look at other couples and tell you their backstory.
That's fun.
And I'll tell it to Leanne, and she's like, Leanne thinks I'm fucking crazy because they're always something something I just witnessed on the internet or like something very like juicy, like he likes to be tied up. She's like, how do you and I ruined it for my director Lonnie on Bert the Conqueror. I used to tell her we'd walk around places wherever we were shooting, and I would say, and I would be laughing to myself, and she's like, what are you doing? And I go, what I do sometimes is I try to envision what people look like when they masturbate.
Yeah.
So like I'll just look at them and sometimes if it's a person I can really envision what they look like and see them in their apartment, it makes me giggle. And then she fucking like 3 hours later, she's like, you fucking ruined walking around looking at people because now that's all I can look at.
Oh God.
Yeah. But that's one other thing I do. Leanne just fucking ruins a story. Because here's how a story works for me. I don't give a fuck about fact checking. Like I want the story to be good. Like if I tell you a story about I'm trying to think about something that just happened that would be good. So like this is very simple, but like so we went to AutoZone today and then got the car washed, and then I saw this place that said like Billy's Burgers or Billy's Grill.
Yeah.
Bill's Grill.
Where were you?
Over in on Van Nuys.
Okay.
See, that's something right there that's not really important to me. I say Van Nuys. I don't really know where the fuck I was.
Yeah.
Leanne would be like, it was Sepulveda. And you're like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's the general area. You know where the fucking area is.
Yeah.
So, but she will distract from a story. It was Sepulveda. We were on Sepulveda and Chandler. It was Sepulveda and Chandler. You know where that is? You know the grill. But why would you say we're on Van Nuys? There isn't even grills on Van Nuys. We're talking about car dealerships right now. Ugh. And so now I'm like, Leanne. So I go in and I get a chicken sandwich and a buffalo burger, and these two ex-gangbangers that are now finding their way and they're both working like maintenance jobs, like DWP, but they're tattoos on the face, tattoos across the throat, on the knuckles, on the hands. I'm watching them eat. They're pouring Cholula on everything, on it, just a fucking steak sandwich, and they're talking about getting their lives straight. Now, if Leanne was here, she'd be like, we don't know they were in a gang. We don't know that they've been to prison. And I was like, I knew they've been to prison the way he got his soda out of the fucking thing. She goes, how would you fucking know that? She would just ruin the story to make it factual as opposed to just making it enjoyable.
I went to a poetry night in Santa Monica last week, and it was in Santa Monica Canyon, like the ritziest part of Santa Monica Canyon. You know that part of Santa Monica Canyon where like people don't look rich, but they're so rich.
Yes.
Like they kind of everything's played down.
Yeah.
It's like that east. Anyways, so we went over there. Beautiful house, like real beautiful played down house, and it was ex-cons doing poetry. So it was all these white people, rich white people, and then like black guy, a huge black guy would get up and just be like, "I was incarcerated for 7 years."
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was insane.
And white people are trying to connect with it?
White people were sitting there like, and it was actually a benefit for this group that like takes ex-cons and like, you know, lets them do poetry or gives them places to do poetry. And it was cool, but God, it was such a like Larry David moment.
Oh.
Because I begged my wife, because my wife's thing, like, can I please go up there as Sarah from Santa Monica and like talk, and like do poetry about the farmer's market?
Yeah.
You know, there was no kale today.
Or talk about your prison stories.
Yeah.
I almost spent the night. My parents were late. It was traffic tickets that had built up. I'd never been arrested. Have you ever been arrested?
I was arrested once.
For what?
I went to this school dance, and we had like, we had someone buy us a bottle of tequila and a 12-pack of Bud Light. We were drinking it by the train tracks, and then they threw it in my car. My trunk didn't have a lock, so after the dance, I left to McDonald's, came back up and got my car. There was a cop car in a Camaro with his lights off, and he was ducked down. And then when I drove off, he pulled me over in the school parking lot with a siren in the Camaro, like it was an undercover car.
Really?
Yeah. And then they're like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm just going home. I wasn't drunk or anything. And then they go over, real dramatic, like in the movies. They go over and they go. He walks over to the trunk. He pops it. He goes, whoa, what do we got here? It was a fucking 12-pack of Busch Light. Like, it was so lame. It was like, it was some beer.
Yeah.
And they fucking torched me.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They made me go to fucking community service for like,
what?
Yeah, for like 6 months.
How old were you?
I was like 17. I don't know.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Torched me.
They were just talking about this school in Florida, the Dozier School.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Dude.
The dojo school?
Dozier?
What is it?
It was a boys' reform school in the Panhandle that was, it was black and white, but it was segregated. Like black kids lived on the black side, white kids lived on the white side. And like last week they found like 20 bodies that had been buried there because clearly back in the fucking Florida, I didn't realize how fucked up Florida was.
Yeah.
Like I grew up there. And I just never knew how kind of.
So they were all just lynchings?
They were just kids they accidentally killed and then just buried.
When?
And in the fucking 30s and in the 50s and in the fucking 60s. They killed some dude in the fucking 80s. Like they put someone in a dryer.
Who was killing them?
The people that ran it. Apparently, I just can't. I mean, I've never had to go to reform school, but the dudes who work at reform schools, apparently, back in the day, I'm sure with the cameras and everything's got to be up to par now. You know what I mean? But like back in the day, they just would sexually assault these kids and kill them. But there was like and kids were complaining, and they were like, you know, it's the fucking 30s. They're like, yeah, you have it rough.
Right.
You know, that's what you get for being truant.
Right.
But yeah, I've been obsessed with it.
I didn't know that. That sounds like a fascinating book. You don't know a book to read about that.
It's not. They just found
it out. I can't wait to see that story. You know, I didn't follow the Whitey Bulger trial. I should have.
I wish I had too.
I'm so bummed I didn't.
I wish I had too because that Whitey Bulger's an interesting. Did you ever know of him when you were a kid?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
In Boston. Yeah, I grew up in Boston. Everybody knew who he was.
Really?
Yeah.
Like we knew who the Traficantes were, and I have friends that are Traficantes Look, we'll just say that Traficante was a name that was the mob boss that supposedly killed Kennedy. And Traficante was also the name of the kid that played on your baseball team. So, like, same family. And
you played baseball with them.
Well, yeah, well, you knew them all. The mob was in Tampa. You
Sure.
knew people whose families were in the mob. That's why Florida's such a fascinating place. Is that it's got a history of slavery. It's got a history of Native Americans.
Sure.
It's got an influx of Cubans, and then
Yeah.
you have this old redneck composite that just hangs out.
Yeah.
And then you got these like mafioso Italians that were coming through trying to take over Cuba, ended up in Miami, settled in Tampa. Like, it's a bizarre fucking place.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like it.
I never knew it was that. I never knew.
You know much about Hulk?
Hogan?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, he's a fascinating.
I just had
Guy.
Nick Foley on my podcast.
You did?
Yeah.
I've heard him on Howard. He's
He's
great.
really fucking interesting. Really smart
Really
dude.
interesting.
Really interesting. But even more, like, you watch his wrestling tapes. Hulk was like a legend to us. Hulk,
Me too.
and Paul Orndorff
Me too.
were like two dudes who everyone knew in Tampa. And you'd like go to Hooters and everyone would be like, Hulk Hogan's here, and you'd see like a yellow fucking Corvette or a yellow monster truck or a
Really?
yellow Harley
So he was always in Tampa.
or a red Harley. Yeah,
That was his home base.
Dude, I had a house across the street from him in Clearwater.
No, you
He
did.
just sold it. I saw him in Clearwater. Like, he looked amazing. Probably like he was going through the divorce with Linda. So probably 4 years ago, maybe, right when Nick went to jail.
Yeah.
I saw him at a restaurant in Tampa.
What do you make of that whole thing doing Bubba's girlfriend?
Dude, candidly, I think a guy like that has never really had any rules. I don't think.
Sure.
I think a lot of those guys, like, look, it can same thing can happen with stand-up comics. I mean, I have had friends who cheated on their wives every fucking opportunity they had,
Right.
and just didn't feel like the rules applied to them.
Right.
They didn't feel like they needed the rules because they were famous. And you were like, and you just be sitting there like, it makes no fucking sense. Like,
Right.
of course, the rules apply to all of us. Hulk's one of those dudes, I think, that was like, look, I was doing the road, I was doing wrestling. You know, he was fucking chicks. He was famous as shit. He was doing steroids. I mean,
but it's his friend's
allegedly,
girl.
I don't know, but I'm sure he said he has.
But it was his. I'm saying like it was Bubba's girl.
yeah,
that doesn't
I don't
matter.
understand that from Bubba's side personally, but maybe
Maybe he's into that.
he is. I know he watched it. Like that. I mean, he had a vid. I think he had something. He recorded it, so I'm sure he watched it. I guess.
It's interesting.
I don't know. I'm not turned on by being a cuckold. Like, that doesn't.
No.
That's the only
It's
episode.
weird. Like, did he want to watch Hulk or did he want to watch her?
I have no fucking clue.
I wonder.
I'm sure he wanted to watch a little bit of both. I think dudes that are into that like the idea of being victimized.
Well, maybe
almost.
he like wants to be Hulk on some level.
Oh, I'm sure that has a place somewhere.
He's a big wrestling fan.
He's a real big wrestling fan, and he's from Tampa. And him and Hulk, up until that point, were like best
I
fucking
know.
friends. And then he leaked the video. I don't know why, but leaked the video.
Stupid
I would
man.
never leak a video of my wife fucking another dude
No.
that I videotaped.
No.
And I offered.
Maybe he's gonna sell it.
I think it's out there. I don't think there's any selling it. I think it's
Hey,
done.
so tell me this. I
Yeah.
want to get this in. You know what? Can you improve my life in any way? That's
Yes.
what I'd like to say to you.
Yes.
Can you improve my life? Meaning, can you tell me some things that I can do
Yeah.
to have a better, happier life? Because I feel like you know a lot of things that I'm missing.
No.
You got anything?
No. No. You're in good shape. You got a great head of hair. You got more Vine followers than I do.
That doesn't mean
You're.
anything. You know that doesn't mean
How old are your kids?
7 and 4.
Yeah, you're fine. Your dog just passed, right?
Yeah, my dog passed.
Yeah, I remember talking about getting a dog, and you were like, "Don't do it."
I wrote a story about him. I'd love to show it to you. But
Really?
I wrote it's not a story. It's like 1,000 words.
Really?
A 1,000 word, like what do you call that?
Like an
Eulogy.
essay?
Yeah, an essay.
What?
I fucking love to read it to you.
Yeah,
You have dogs,
I love-
right?
Yeah. Oh, I was talking to you about getting my dog, and you were like, "Don't do it. Don't do it." There's a lot. It's a lot of fun, a lot of heartache, a lot of walks, a lot of fucking. Because I think he was
worst.
just about to pass.
I wish I could find it and read it.
What? I don't know, man. I'm really fucking happy right now. But there
You
have been. Oh yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, but you're
Dude,
always
I
happy.
had a really,
You're always happy.
I had a really fucking scary incident happen last night.
What?
We're at a party. I'm in the back house, like we're out at the pool,
Yeah.
and I'm fucking around with Isla. And Isla and I break each other's balls a lot.
Yeah.
And I asked her to come to grab me a beer. So Isla goes to get me a beer, and she comes back with a Diet Coke or Coke. Isla loves drinking Coke. She goes, "This a beer? Can I have a sip?" And I go, "It's a Coke, Isla. Give me a beer." She comes back with another Coke. She goes, how about this one? Is this a Coke? Is this a beer? And I go, no, Isla, it's a fucking Coke. I go, you're so fucking useless, Isla. Like, joking. We're laughing with each other.
Right.
And all of a sudden, one of Isla's best friends, Kylie, comes running out. And I'm reaching in to go get a beer and get Isla a Coke. And comes running out and says, Bert, Georgia stopped breathing.
Oh, shit.
Dude, I can't. I've shelved this. This happened last night. I didn't talk to Leanne about it last night because I wouldn't talk about it. I have a beer in my hand and I just sprint because I know the Heimlich maneuver. I don't know what happened, but I sprint in from the outside through the screen door. The screen door's open, or the sliding glass door's open. But I remember going through thinking, even if the screen's open, I'll run through the screen. I don't give a fuck. I sprint into the house and all I see is everyone's in like the TV room, and all I see are George's feet, like sitting, toes up to the sky, and Leanne sitting next to her feet, and I can't see Georgia, and everyone's in a circle, and I have that moment of, oh shit, I just lost my child, and it turns out Georgia just fell off the couch and knocked the wind out of her. That's all that happened, but I had the moment. And I just thought the same thing you were saying about your dog. Like, don't do it. It's a lot of heartache, a lot of when you lose an animal, it's a big fucking don't even welcome that into your life. Man, I fucking spiraled.
Yeah.
I was like, because I knew I went through the motions of the feeling, and it was horrific. And all I thought was, and it was like, and look, that's as a parent, stuff like that's going to happen. Kids choke. Isla choked one time. Totally got it out of her. It was fine. But, man, Leanne wanted to talk about it. She's like, what are you feeling? And I was like, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it because I can't access that emotion because that emotion is too big for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's like,
yeah, well, you feel things more than most people.
Yeah, it's like Bob Marley going,
why.
I don't want to look at the thing on my toe. Just drop it, And so and you could tell Leanne was cool with me not talking about it.
Right.
And went to the fridge, got me a beer, and we were back home, and I drank like fucking 6 beers just watching TV with her. Didn't talk.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, fuck. But the idea of loss is so fucking big when it comes, especially when you have kids. Did you know that parenting was going to be this much of a fucking commitment?
Yeah. I
had no fucking clue.
Yeah, no, I knew it was going to be hell, and it is.
I thought it was going to be like punch around and, take them to the park. Maybe write a few kid jokes. But it's like the thing with the dog. The same thing you said with the dog. It's like, you start fucking, our rescue dog's getting old, and then the dog's going to die. Isla's fish died today, and now they're dealing with that. And you're like, motherfucker. Just
Can I read this to you?
Yeah, please.
But you gotta have to pause for a second so I can find it.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm gonna pause. All right, we're back. That was a pause. You didn't even know it, but we paused. I went and got a Chimay. It's spilling. It's spilling.
Looks good.
It's great. Yeah. There's glasses right over here. I am drinking out of a glass that a guy gave me in. A guy gave me a glass.
That cave is so unfucking believable.
Oh, thank you.
And I can't believe I'm never jealous of anything. I'm not jealous of fancy cars.
Oh yeah.
I'm not jealous of anything. I don't get jealous of people that get deals, and I don't care.
Yeah, I don't get jealous of Hollywood stuff.
I don't either. But I'm jealous of this man cave.
I get jealous of dudes with young wives. No, I'm kidding.
I get jealous of that.
I'm drinking the Chimay out of a glass that a guy gave me. He carves glasses, and I forget where. All I remember about this story is that he gave me these 2 glasses. He gave one for Rogan that I still have. I have not given to Joe yet. And then one for me. Mine says, I'm the machine in Russian, with the Russian sickle and hammer. And Joe's is a gorilla that says Death Squad. And I have not given them to him. But all I remember about that is he gave me the 2 glasses, and I was like, dude, I was so overwhelmed, so grateful that I grabbed them, and I was so concerned about putting them away that I sold him a shirt. And whoever my feature actor was like, dude, you fucking sold him that shirt? Yeah. He just gave you a present, and you sold him a shirt? And I was like, oh, my God. Like, I didn't even realize I did it, and so I think I came back, or It was in Iowa. It was in Des Moines, Iowa. I forget the guy's name, but I ended up giving him his shirt. He was a really great guy. Who was the guy that told me not to do that? Anyway. So, but yeah, I just opened a Chimay.
I always want to meet him, man.
Who?
Joe Rogan.
Dude, one of the greatest fucking things that ever happened to me. I really want to
meet that guy. I don't know why.
He's really a fascinating guy. He is smart as shit. But here's the thing:
I would just like to hang out with him and just hear him talk. Actually, he's such a weird dichotomy of smart and fucking alpha male.
Yeah.
There's not too many people like that at all. So I heard
Genghis Khan was like that.
Yeah, are you serious?
Yeah, I mean that's and I say that like I say that really like.
Well, he definitely has like a killer instinct. I mean, that's a good thing about him.
You know what I like about him? He knows what the fuck he believes in, and he just says it, and that's the thing he believes in, and he doesn't fucking mince words. If you ask me something, you're like, "What do you think about this?" I'll go, "I love it." And you're like, "I'm not a big fan." And then I'd be like, "Me either." Like I fucking flip flop all the time. I don't like conflict. I don't like tension. I don't like conflict. So, but Joe just will tell you what. Like you'll say something, and he'll go and he'll tell you. You'll think you'll just get like the conciliatory, like, oh yeah, that sounds interesting, and he'll be like, why would you be interested in that? But he's not being aggressive, but he's saying, tell me why you're interested in that,
right? So
you can explain why I'm not, and maybe I'll figure out why I am. Like he's just one of those guys.
It's a very athletic mentality. It's very like black and white, direct.
Yeah, he's very very direct. He's very like. I don't know, I could talk about. I could literally talk about him for hours.
I saw a guy at the gym the other day, and he was like a really buff guy that you didn't know if he was joking or not. I think he kept doing jokes that just kind of like scared everybody.
Yeah,
like he'd be like, after you finish, he'd go, "Bro, put those weights away, or I'll fucking bash. Or put those weights away, or I'll fucking bash your head in." Just kidding around, and you're like, "Are you kidding around?" I'm not sure. Your tone is not indicating.
Yeah, I know. That
gym people are the fucking craziest. Do you go to the gym?
I don't. I work out here in the man cave. I got my spin bike, my treadmill.
What do you do on the spin? You do like...
I throw on. I feel like I should put on my music. What I do is I have a app that speeds up my songs to a beats per minute.
Yeah, and
then I will play.
I love when you play tunes and then you tell me what you're doing to the tunes.
This is, I'll pull up the app so you can hear. This is the fucking best song. So, this is the speed at which I spin. This is the song "Sail," but it's sped up to 157 beats per minute. So imagine being on a spin bike, just pounding it. Go.
Did you listen to this at Sturgis?
I listened. Oh, no, I did not. I did not listen to this.
Should have.
This is at 170 beats, and then I'll feel like sometimes I go, fuck it, let's take it up a notch.
You make it go faster?
I can make it go as fast as I want.
Why? How?
Because this beat, it takes your song to whatever beats per minute.
Wow.
And then sometimes I'll do a little bit of... That's right, we know who this is.
So you can
is it
change the beat of the song?
166 beats per minute.
Hello,
wherever you are you dancing on the dance floor, drinking by the bar? Tonight we'll do it big and shine it like stars. We don't give a fuck, cause that's just who we are. And we are. This is the best part of spinning right here, ready? Them crazy. Now this is the best part, right? Now I'm out of the saddle, I'm going real fast, and then here.
We are the crazy people. I see you in the club, shall we catch the love? Tripping on them bitches, I be hating, catch a dub.
Tucking deuces, these do be useless. This I fucking.
Do you ever get scenes, like whole scenes to a song? Like you hear the music, and then you have like a whole story.
That song, exactly. I can hear the music video. I'm aggressive about it.
You are.
Oh yeah, I will definitely.
Like I have an entire story when I listen to Tommy. Not Tommy. What's that song by The Who? Their famous song.
Pinball Wizard?
No, not Pinball Wizard. Here, I'll look it up. Go ahead, keep talking.
No, I do that. I do that aggressively. Especially with like hip hop songs. I've always wanted to direct a hip hop video.
You did?
Yeah, I wanted to direct it. Here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get, say it's like This is when I first had the idea. Was when the song "Bombs Over Baghdad" came out, and what I wanted was two dudes like me and you, okay, to be in the front. This is how the video starts. It's in the back. You have a camera held by Andre 3000, and he's with Big Boy. And he's like, yo, this is Andre 3000 and Daddy Fat Sax, Big Boy. We sitting here at Freaknik 2002, whenever the fuck that song came out, 2002, shooting the music video for our song Bombs Over Baghdad. Shit hadn't hit the street yet, and we're taking these guys, and then they cut to us, and we are at the very front of a Navigator driving it. And they're like, and these are the guys that will be bumping it. So we play their song for the first time that anyone hears it at like a really big event like All-Star Weekend or Freaknik, which is no longer, but it's like us bumping theirs. Amazing system, and you got cameramen set up like snipers looking at us bumping through, and everyone's hearing a song they haven't heard by a band they fucking love, but they see two white boys just fucking rolling deep in the most pimped out car, getting out of their car with lowering it and dropping it, and just fucking, and then Andre 3000 and Big Boy come out. And they do the reveal, and then everyone loses their fucking mind while me, you, and Andre 3000 and Big Boy stand on top of a Navigator fucking singing the last lyric together.
This was for Bombs Over Baghdad.
The song Bombs Over Baghdad was the fucking... I gotta be honest with you, I think their video was better, but like that was the song that inspired it.
I have a whole story to this. Did you know this song? Baba O'Reilly?
No.
You don't know this song?
No. Yeah, I know the song. What is it?
It's Baba O'Reilly, and it's like... I want to make this movie. It's basically about a fat kid and his lesbian sister.
Sounds like it might be autobiographical.
Yeah, it's called Fat Kid Dynamo.
Fat Kid Dynamo.
Yeah, and it's like this fat kid who has like powers and stuff. I don't want to go too much into it.
Yeah,
but there's a scene with that from Baba O'Reilly. Whatever.
I could think of the song 311 song.
I love hearing Disaster. 311 in California.
311's Beautiful Disaster. I wrote a scene to a movie.
Yeah.
I had pitched a long time ago. This was before, not pitched. Let me rephrase that. I came up with an idea, and I had mentioned it to my manager, and he was like, you just got to write it out, Papa. And the idea was, it was right when I want to say, Pulp Fiction. Like, the idea of assassins was really big. Right. And I was like, I want to write a script about a young kid who gets brought into this frat boy, like fucking meathead, drinking party boy, right, who gets brought into a group of assassins, right, and it ultimately is the movie that fucking Angelina Jolie was in with where they made the bullets dance.
Yeah.
Well, they had a much better script, much better idea, but that was the movie, and I wanted to. And he was like fumbling, and the song "Beautiful Disaster" was the song that he played when he killed his first person. Like it was on the background. Can
you play the song?
I don't think I have it.
I have Spotify. What is it called?
I'll see if I can find. I bet I can find it online. I'm at 2% right now. We're fucking playing with fire, Jason. This is much what it felt like to be like this is when the snow was coming up on the pass, and your whole family was there, and you're like, I don't think we're going to make it. We have to hunker down until the weather changes, and you're running short on food. That's what it's like to have 2% on your...
Beautiful Disaster. And I want to read my... Let me see. Okay.
Dude. That is fucking... For anyone that loves dogs...
Yeah.
It's like moving his shit, man.
Yeah, he was the best fucking dog. And it was all because of what you put on the dog,
He was a great fucking dog.
But you put on... You give the dog a personality, and you... let the dog sleep in the bed. It's like that's what they become. They're highly trainable,
dude. It's
highly malleable.
It's
golden Sora.
The truth is, it's one of those. Let me take a second and just again tell you how fucking beautiful that was.
Thank you so much.
I do not like poetry. I don't like.
No, I
don't like.
I don't either.
I get really uncomfortable by that shit.
I know it's parts are uncomfortable, but
but that did not make me uncomfortable. It made me feel. It really kind of pulled me into it, and I felt like, fuck, like I'm, like I lay with Pris in bed, and she needs to be like on you. She's almost 140 pounds, so. when she gets on you, it's like a fucking human being.
That dog's huge.
But it's like, the truth is, it's just such a like that fucking devotion they have for you.
Oh yeah.
Like it is.
You're always looking for the answers. I know I'm trying so hard to like find answers every single second, and they're just so content. And you're just like, oh,
it forces you to be
life.
The thing you said that was really fucking mind blowing was it forces you to be present.
Yeah.
They really force you to be present.
Yeah, because you can't be a shit if you have a dog. Like if you're like the 20-something guy, and you're starting with a girlfriend, and then you have like a pet. That's a lock in on you, brother.
Yeah.
You can't just take off for the weekend. Now you have a pet, and it starts to happen, and
it
makes you be present. It makes you be around, and
but the concept of
because a lot of guys just want to check out. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to check out so badly when Marnie got that fucking dog.
Some people have kids and check out.
Yeah, I know, and I would never do that. But she got that dog, and I was like, "Fuck this! I got to get out of here." And then
I love that. I love the premise of everyone. Do you want some more of this?
No, I meant
Everyone has a dog voice.
I love that. Yeah, do you have a dog voice?
Leanne does. Leanne does all the voices, and every song that comes on the radio turns into a I got 99 problems, but a pooch ain't one. And so any song that comes out, she turns into a pooch is the catchphrase, or fuzzy britches, and that's her cat. But it's really fascinating, man. I like.
You can't tell people. I know, like when I tell people about my dog voice, you cannot tell people about your dog voice. It's just not.
It doesn't. It's like
just
trying to
translate.
trying to tell someone a dream.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It just doesn't translate. Because I know when I do, people look at me like, "What are you, crazy?"
But yeah, what's interesting is that I had a lab in college, Abigail, and I tell stories to the girls about Abigail because I had adventures with this dog.
Sure.
Like I had me and this dog were like best friends for fucking 7 years that I was in college. I mean, we did everything together. And
seriously, best friend? You liked him better than you liked him better than the kids you went to college with.
Fucking. Let me tell you something.
If you had to choose.
Yeah. If I had to choose.
That's some dog.
If I had to choose to relive one day of my college experience, I would spend the day with Abigail out at the park, and we'd fucking stay at home late night, eat pizza, watch fucking Fletch, and she just was like so devoted. She was big too. She was half Rottweiler, half lab.
That's a good mix.
But the great thing about the retrievers is that the playing with them and them running on the beach and watching them just joyous like that. Pris is not a running dog. She sleeps maybe 18 hours a day. I mean, she's sleeping right now. She'll wake up to bark if someone comes in the house, and that's it. Right back to bed. Like almost like a drunk dad who's passed out on the couch. Like, what? Everybody fucking go back to fucking seriously, and then just go back to sleep. But it's interesting because I'm fucking such a dog guy.
Yeah.
I remember going and I.
You just have her, right?
We have her and we have Mona. Mona's a piece of shit.
Why is Mona a piece of shit?
Mona's fucking racist. I think she's going blind. And so now she used to hate Mexicans. Now she thinks everyone's Mexican. So she fucking just barks at anybody. And then she barks, and then Priscilla's like, "What is that?" And then she starts barking, and then the cat takes off running. It's like fucking chaos. But yeah, Pris is fucking.
You don't have any advice for me?
Write more shit like that.
Like what?
Fucking like what you just wrote. That was really fucking great, man. What are you doing now? You doing any stage time?
No, I'm doing my web show for GQ.
I just saw that. How to Be a Man? Mm-hmm. Yep. You have David Koechner in it?
Yeah, we got a bunch of people in it.
You have a bunch of people in it.
Yeah. Doing fine.
Where can people find it?
On YouTube.
On YouTube?
How to Be a Man, Jason Nash, GQ.
How to Be a Man,
Put in
Jason
GQ's
Nash.
How to Be a Man, Jason
GQ
Nash.
just took over Spike?
I think that was Esquire.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Oh, no,
yeah.
maybe they did. I can look into that. And then I have the movies coming out. I'm trying to get that done.
What's the movie?
I have this movie, Jason Nash is Married, which is with Busy and all them.
Yeah.
So I think that's finally getting bought, so.
Oh, really? Nice.
It's going to be on Comedy Central, I think. I should announce
Busy,
that.
is that Busy Phillips?
Me and Busy, yeah.
Is that, what's her name? Bijou?
Busy.
Busy?
Like a busy day at work.
Really? Mm-hmm. How do you have the most eclectic group of famous friends?
But you know what? They're not friends. I mean, like, I love Busy.
Yeah.
I love her to death. Like, if she called me tomorrow, I'd be so excited. She doesn't call me. She has her own life, you know. Like,
Yeah.
And she's not friends with all famous people. She's got just her set of friends, and you know, we don't hang out. So it's not like, you know, I'm not friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I always feel more comfortable. I guess that is kind of. I have famous friends, but then they're not my friends. I only have a few friends that are famous.
I mean, what's your definition of friend? Like someone you can call. My definition of friend is someone I could count on and call on.
Someone
if I needed something, needed a favor.
Yeah, someone I could call and go, hey, this is my definition of friend.
Although I could call Busy and she would do something for me. I guess that's the wrong definition.
If I could, I would call and say, listen, here's the deal.
Someone who's in your life.
I'm drunk. Leanne doesn't know about it. I have the car. I have the girls. I need you to get my car.
No, Busy would do that, actually.
Drive me to my house with my kids. Get out of my car and walk home and not tell Leanne I was drinking. Like something like that. That's a really bad example, but like someone who would go out above and beyond.
You know what? I could then if you ask like some of the people that are in my movie if they would do that for me, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because they're great people. You know how many people, all those like New York comedians and
Blyden,
so
are you
nice.
still hanging out with Blyden at all?
Yeah.
Blyden is one of the more interesting friends that
you always ask about Blyden.
Because you know why? Can I tell you why?
Yeah. I know he's fascinating.
Well, no, this is why. When we went to your bachelor party, there was it was a very eclectic group of very successful people, I would say.
Right.
And this was a while ago. This is right after Georgia was born. I know that because we went to a strip club, and I remember feeling like I had regret of going to a strip club because I had a daughter. And I remember, I distinctly remember that. And when we were at your bachelor party, I felt very uncomfortable because I knew you and I knew Marnie and I knew a lot of the guys, but I wasn't friends like everyone else was friends. Everyone else knew each other. And Mike Blyden came back and sat down next to me and talked to me for the whole fucking party, and just was like, and he was really interested in me, and it was like, and it made me feel so fucking awesome, and I never forgot it. Because I was like, I remember thinking there's something very real about him. And Price is the same way, but he's more like Blyden was doing an experiment, I think. Like he was like trying to figure out what was wrong. So you were the party animal. You shit on. I never remember. It's like 4 times. He said, "You shit on a pizza box."
This is my favorite story you've told tonight, by far.
And
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He's got some really interesting Rogan stories.
Yes, he does.
Because he directed the documentary, and this was, but he's got mugged, and they stole all his camera. He directed fucking
The X Show.
No, Blyden directed Doug's movie.
That's right.
Super Jaime.
Yeah.
So he's an interesting fucking guy, to say the least. But what's he doing now? He's writing on.
He's working on this.
Fallon.
No, I think he's done. He's been done there for a while. He's working on like a new show for USA, I think, called Sirens. I think it's about like ambulance chasers. It's the guy that did. Wedding Crashers.
Oh, is it scripted?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it should be good.
It's good.
I'm sure it will be. What's Price doing?
He's working on.
Blyden and Price were in if anyone just is like, who the fuck are these people? They were in the improv group with Jason that I first met when we were on the X Show, and I want to say that's where we got to know each other. But I met you in New York. Mm-hmm. But you did your coach character.
Yeah.
And the line, I think, every fucking time, and the band Limp Bizkit. When I was a teen, a Limp Bizkit was when a bunch of guys masturbated on top of a Lorna Doone. Do you remember that? I remember hearing that line and laughing so fucking hard because we had done a game called Sloppy Biscuit in college. In college, they blindfold all the pledges and they say, in the center is a biscuit from KFC. Everyone is to masturbate on it, and the last one that comes has to eat it. Go. And then dudes run into the center and start jerking off furiously. And guys like myself kind of take their time and they're like, I'm fucking not comfortable jerking off and having an orgasm in front of a bunch of dudes. And what kind of group am I joining that wants to watch this? And then all of a sudden you feel a tap on your shoulder and it's an older brother going, take your blindfold off. And so you take your blindfold off and you just see 3 of your pledge brothers jacking off furiously. And you're like, I want to be in this group. This is fucking awesome entertainment. And then all of a sudden one dude comes and you hear everyone go, oh. And then they take their blindfold off and realize no one's fucking masturbating. Oh, fucking college.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And so you said...
Was that in the Rolling Stone article?
No. It's in the book.
Yeah. When's the book coming out?
May.
Are you so excited?
Is the candy not the best thing ever?
Oh my God, Bert has this huge thing of Skittles here.
It's the fucking DIY. People just put in 3 jars of candy, and my wife keeps filling them, and the girls keep fucking digging in. No, the book's coming out in May. It's called... I don't know. I know
What's the title?
I think I can say it. I don't know. I'm not going to say it because I know my publisher, my editor. I don't know what to call him, publisher or editor. Yaniv listens to this podcast, and he texts me like the next day, the day after it comes out. He texts me and he's like, "Dude, McFoley was an awesome fucking get. I love the McFoley episode." Like, so Yaniv.
I got to listen to that.
Yaniv's on Twitter. Go to St. Martin's. No, Yaniv. I don't know. God damn it! I wish I had this shit on the top of my head. But yeah. So you said did that coach line character? I'll never forget it. And then you did coach. You came back and did coach. Or was that the preacher you did?
Yeah, I did the preacher.
That was the preacher, and then the coach came back for the day and hazed us. That was great. And then
on the X show, you mean?
And that was the day Snoop Dogg was there to do an interview.
Oh yeah.
Because I remember that.
What was that like?
Me, you, and Price. I don't think Blyden was there that day. But me, you, and Price sat out, and Snoop Dogg's trailer was right there, and I could smell the weed coming out of it. And we were talking about stand-up.
He was on the show?
Snoop was on the show. And he was fucking fascinating. He was a really interesting dude. He had his rider was he had to have a bunch of what's the fried chicken joint in L.A. that everyone loves? I know
Roscoe's.
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles had to be delivered there.
Really?
Yep. He had to have a trailer. He had to have like an Xbox at the time, the hot Xbox that was out. He had to have a certain list of CDs that were in the thing with a great system. And we went in. I think John Moore. Do you know John Moore? Mm-mm. John Moore was a producer. He's one of my really good friends. Now he's a very big producer. He was good friends. He one of Cronin's kind of guys, but then worked his way out from under that and kind of. But John Moore went into the trailer, and I think they made him smoke pot with him. And John was like right out of like Pentecostal preaching parents, like snake shakers, and was like, huh.
And he had to smoke with them.
But he had, John's like this white bread country boy from Tennessee, and they were like, I hit this, and John's like, okay, Mr. Dog, and then it came back like blazy eyed, like.
Was he out of it?
Yeah, John's great. By the way, that's my story of how that happened. I don't know how that happened.
Right.
I don't remember how that happened, but that's my story. Because I was with you guys. I remember John walking by, and I was like, he was like,
and he was blazed out.
And then I ended up leaving you guys and going in and talking to John, and John's like, Snoop Dogg's trailer is full of weed. But Snoop was great. Slash was the best interview I did on that.
Oh, what was that like?
Slash was amazing. They won this is in the book. This is I will skirt around the things that are in the book in this because I do want people to not. I don't want to tell the book on my podcast.
Sure.
But the one part that's not in the book is that we go to do the interview, and the one thing they said was, "Don't talk about Guns N' Roses. Don't talk about Axl. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about Slash's Snake Pit. Slash's Snake Pit was his band, and like that's all we want to talk about." But Slash had been kicked out the night before by his chick. She had made him fucking sleep on the couch or sleep like somewhere else, and he had a flight to Europe at like noon, and the show shot at like 7 a.m. So he rolled in to do the interview, a mess. I mean, he had been up until like 5, and he walked right into hair and makeup, and he's like, "Who's got booze?" And they're like, "Bert does." My door was the first. My green room was the first one on the right. So we walked right into my green room, and he's like, knock on the door, open the door. It's fucking Slash with the fucking hat on and everything. I heard you got booze. I was like, I got cognac. Come on in. So 2 glasses of cognac, and we're sitting there.
At 7 in the morning.
7. It might have been brandy, cognac. Whatever booze you just had that you got as a gift. Wasn't anything that you'd really drank. And we're drinking in an X-Show coffee mugs. And he tells me, he's my wife, my chick kicked me out, man. I'm heading off to Europe to do this tour, and just bad shit, man. Just bad shit. And I was like, wow. And then we started talking about Guns N' Roses, just me and him. Sitting on the couch, just started talking about Guns N' Roses, and right now my editor's like, "Why isn't this in the fucking book?" But and it was very comfortable. It was really comfortable. So when I went out to do the interview, the first thing I said was, I said, "What happened?" I said, "What happened to Slash? Or what happened to Axl?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "What happened to Guns N' Roses?" And he goes, "Man, that's a long story." I said, "What happened to Axl?" And he was like, man, can I be honest with you? And I was like, I'll never forget when he said that, my cameramen stopped looking through the lenses. They all looked out. When he goes, "Can I be honest with you?" Like, they all like, now, this is also my memory is jaded with whatever fucking brush I fucking remember it with. But whatever he said to me was like, "Can I be honest with you?" And this is exactly his view of it. He was like, when we started the band, we were street kids. We started it as street kids, and we were street kids while we were on tour. Our first year on tour, we were just street kids that had money. And we were all together. We were all partying, having a good time. The next year, still had money, more money. Who gives a fuck? Hotel rooms, burn them down. Fucking strippers, we want 20. Give bottles of champagne all over the place. Get the buses bigger. We want private jets. Get us private jets. I want new leather pants. Have the leather pants come out there for me. And he said, and then when we got done touring, we had to go and get a home and realize what kind of millionaires were we. And he goes, and Axl's the kind of millionaire that wants to live in Malibu and have a nice estate and do his thing out in seclusion. And I'm the kind of millionaire that wants to be in Hollywood, out by the streets, and have poisonous animals. And he's like, just 2 very different types of millionaires that can't get along anymore. Because you realize, it's like when they had money, they were all the same street kids. Then they all established their time to grow up. Now I have millions. Where do I want a house? What kind of style do I want? You go to Slash's house, and he literally had venomous animals all throughout his house. At some point, you're going to go, I don't kind of want to go to his house. Like, what if there's an earthquake and there's fucking cobras everywhere? Yeah. So he goes, yeah, we just kind of grew out. Like, that's how that happened.
Just grew apart. And
you could hear a dime. You could literally hear a pin drop. Everyone's just sitting there, like, silent. And then I was like, and then I just kept talking about Guns N' Roses, and we talked about it the whole time.
Are you still in hair and makeup, or you're on stage now?
This is on stage.
Oh, this is on stage.
Fucking all on stage, all recorded, all fucking, and everyone's like, oh, and it was fucking beautiful. We got done, and dude, I never got compliments. I sucked on that show, but fucking everyone came up to me like, amazing interview, and I was like, thank you. They're like, because normally in an interview,
it was the booze.
Oh, it was the booze.
He felt close to you
because we got drunk in my green room at 6 in the morning. Yeah, it was fucking...
He felt like you were coming down to see him.
Would never have happened without your wife. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, my wife loves you.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. No, it's not that crazy. She has good taste.
Dude, well, she's
smart. She's really smart.
Her and Lisa
Berger.
Sure. What's she doing?
She just left E, I think.
Really?
That's what Marnie told me.
She was great.
I don't keep up enough with what people... I don't like to
Does
read
Marnie
the trades.
do that?
Oh, yeah, Marnie reads the trades all the time.
Really?
Daniel Tosh is getting his own airline, Like, oh, great.
Who does Marnie love that you're not a big fan of?
I can't say that.
Oh, I guess that's a weird...
I'm trying to... Well, I don't want to bag anybody.
Yeah.
Who let's see. Who don't...
I'll tell you, let me put it this way. I'll tell you people I'm a fan of that my wife doesn't get.
Who?
Ready for this one?
Yeah.
Zach.
Your wife doesn't get Zach?
Doesn't get it.
Oh, no. My wife gets Zach.
She went and saw him do stand-up.
She didn't like it?
Didn't laugh once until his last joke. Last joke was, well, it's time to do laundry when you get out of the shower and dry off with a shoe. And Leanne fucking fell apart laughing. She was like, does not particularly find Tosh funny.
No, I think Tosh is funny.
I think Tosh is fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
My buddy Tom Segura just did a gig with him.
Yeah.
Talk about fucking great.
Yeah.
Fucking private jet.
Yeah.
Into fucking Vegas, just in time for the Friday show. Hang out all day Saturday at the pool, chill out, steaks, lobster, whatever, champagne. Then that night, do a show, get done the show, out of the green room, into a limo, to the jet, fly back to L.A.
Wow.
Dude, that's how I could do the road. I could do the road like that for the rest of my fucking life. You could put me in and out of jets for the rest of my fucking life. I would do it in a heartbeat. No questions asked. I'd want a motorcycle to take me to my jet.
The one thing that's been so interesting about Vine is it's the first time I had an audience, and it's the first time I can see who it is.
Really?
Yeah, like you can kind of see who it is.
Who's your audience?
Well, on there it's teenagers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking. Where do they think like?
On there it's like people that are like 10 to like 19.
Really?
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
That's why my kid vines aren't working. They don't want to see kids. I'm just going to do more vines about my dick.
It's girls.
It's girls?
Yeah, like there's things that I will do on there that I think are funny that are like, stab at girls a little bit. They don't do well.
Really?
No. Like I did a thing, I did a guy I did a fitness instructor who's misogynistic.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, Ariel had the most reps in class, but she's a girl, so that doesn't really count. But good job, Ariel.
Yeah.
And I think it was really funny, and no one liked it.
So okay, that it makes sense.
Weird, stupid. Like I love Chris D'Elia because he just bags on the app. He goes, guys, why would I get upset about your comments? He goes, it's an app.
Yeah.
It's like
that's why that's so cute.
Yeah.
Works so well because that fucking all little girls are probably doing that all through school.
Right.
So cute.
Right. It's cute. Yeah. That one I don't get.
I get.
But I like all his other stuff.
The best one is Jordan Bert. Jordan Bert's the best.
He's good.
He's really funny.
He does do
when
good
I saw you with what's the girl, Brittany Furloin?
Yeah, Brittany used to be like this comedian's girlfriend.
Who?
She would just hang around. She used to go out with Josh Adam Myers, and she was always great. And then she was just like hanging around. She would just hang around the clubs, and she was always so nice. And you're like, oh yeah, she seems funny. But I had no idea how funny
She's
she was.
great. And then I know that another girl, Mabry.
Sunny
Mabry.
Great. You're beautiful. And,
Yeah, she's really pretty.
She's so pretty.
I follow porn stars on Vine.
Oh, tell me some porn stars to follow.
Dude, I'm just going to give you my two favorite. And I say this, I'm going to...
Have you seen Terrio?
Who's that?
The little black kid, Terrio? He's like, oh, Bert, you've got to see Terrio like right now.
I don't have fucking... Pull him up on yours.
He's like 10 years old.
What?
He is built
he's
like
not he's not the kid that was dancing.
I think he has like maybe a hit song.
What?
Does he have a hit song called Kill 'Em or something like that?
I think I might have seen this.
The kid is unbelievable. He looks like he ate like 10 stacks of pancakes.
I think I know exactly.
Do you know
I think
what
I
I'm
saw him
talking
dancing. Yeah, I saw someone revined him. Revining is the best thing ever. I don't know why that hadn't been out since the app started.
You like that?
I like the revining. So yeah, because that's fucking. I love Frank Caliendo's really good on Vine. His Morgan Freeman. I almost said Morgan Murphy. He does a Morgan Murphy impression that's perfect. No, Morgan Freeman impression. Have you heard it?
Oh yeah. Who does that? Caliendo?
Yeah, Caliendo's great.
Yeah, I heard that. That was really good.
I love Simon Rex's fucking Vine. I love Jordan Bert, Brittany. Here are the porn stars. I've said this a number of times, and I will stand by this. Siri XXX is great. If you want to see a lot of nudity, she has a lot of nudity.
You go to lunch at I go to lunch at. You go to lunch.
Keep going.
Terrio, you go to lunch at
What?
He's doing his homework. He's doing his homework, and he's just doing vines. How many followers does he have? 320,000. So wait, my favorite on Vine is Jessie Andrews.
Who's that?
She's a porn star. She doesn't have that many followers. I mean, she probably does. She probably has like 200,000 now. But when I followed her, she had like 14,000. Jessie Andrews is fascinating for one fact. She doesn't really show any nudity. If she does, it's actually something maybe semi-tasteful.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me is following her life. It's like watching a reality show where you're only getting 6 seconds of the clip.
Is Jessie Andrews like 2 words?
Jessie, Jessie Andrews. I haven't been on Vine in a little bit.
So
It's probably her. Is she DJing?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep, she's an international DJ. She makes jewelry, and she just happens to be a porn star.
Is she pretty?
Very pretty.
Oh my god.
Have you seen a picture of her yet?
Yeah, I just saw her naked.
Oh.
She was like 18, Bert.
Well, she's not. I think she's like 20. But
she looks like 18 or 20.
Yeah, she's really.
Did you see that Miley Cyrus thing?
Twerking?
You know, when like Robin Thicke came up behind her MTV performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I didn't.
You know the problem with that is that's two things wrong with that, which is that she's not that great a performer. Like Madonna would have pulled that off, and Britney would have pulled that off. And the other thing is that it's anything she does is going to be desperate because she was a Disney star.
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, it's like not. I always.
Do your girls like her?
Yeah, they like her music.
They do.
Yeah, they like that.
Watch out.
Last Friday night. Yeah, no, that's not her.
That's Katy Perry.
They like the song "In the USA." Whatever. I don't know. The fucking one where she goes to LA with her friends and they got her boots on.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It's a pretty good song. It's a party in the USA.
Okay.
They like that. Here's the thing about Miley Cyrus, and I don't like shitting on celebrities. I never liked that VH1 where, like, I remember going in, they were like, shit on Angelina Jolie. I was like, I'm actually a fan of hers. And they were like, no, but shit on her. I was like, what if she sees this? But I do respect people who are honest with their opinions. That's why I like Tosh. She's very fucking honest.
Sure.
The thing about Miley Cyrus is when I see something like that, I go, yeah, but not that she hasn't earned it. She's totally earned it in her work, but like, she maybe is not the right person to be twerking and dancing in a hat. She's just Billy Ray Cyrus's kid. Right. Like it's not like she is, say, Rihanna or someone who, or Whitney Houston or Beyonce, where you go, oh, that's the kid that was plucked out of the fucking universe for stardom. Does that make sense? Like she doesn't have she's hot and she's edgy and she's young and she's successful, and I like that. I'm not shitting on her, but it's not like she was plucked out of nowhere. She was just a kid of a famous child of a famous person, and was pushed through the system.
Yeah,
it's that's the only problem I have with like watching her with Robin Thicke is, and same thing with Robin Thicke a little bit. Like he's Alan Thicke's kid. It's like
the
two
of them,
fucking famous kids. Not that I.
What's your point?
I'd rather see kids that earned it.
Oh, right. Well,
not that they didn't earn it.
Yeah.
They're very talented, and I like Robin Thicke's music.
Sure.
And I like Miley Ray Cyrus. When the girls listen to it, I think Miley Ray Cyrus is fucking awesome.
Right.
But I'd rather see two kids that earned it.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
I think that comes from me.
I know, but even the ones that have a good start, they earn it.
Yeah, she
Robin
earned
Thicke,
it.
like I heard him on Howard, and he was like, he basically made all these albums that were really good that nobody bought.
Really?
Yeah.
He was on American Idol.
That nobody.
You heard Robin Thicke on Howard?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to download that interview.
It's great. And he's
Is that
like,
on YouTube, you think?
Yeah, it's probably on YouTube.
God,
and then somebody took him on this album and was like, all right, you just sing.
Really?
And somebody had to be like, stop being so serious, and then this was the first time he did that.
The big drama on the airplane the next day was that this is what I overheard was, do you know that song? It's about Blurred Lines, about having sex with underage girls. And I was like, yeah. That's who listens to it is underage girls and kids that are just above age. Yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Who said that on the airplane?
Some lady sitting behind me. But we are at 2 hours right now. We should probably wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
What?
I'd like to say thanks to
what do you want?
over.
Anything you want to plug?
Yeah,
the GQ thing.
Look out for the web show is called How to Be a Man. It's on GQ on the YouTube channel. It's on the GQ.com. And then the movie's coming out in January on Comedy Central. It's called Jason Nash is Married.
Oh, I can't fucking wait to see that.
You can come over and see it. You can watch it right now.
Really?
I've got to decide something about it. I'd love your opinion.
Definitely. And I have a screening. Everybody, you're going to be so excited. I have a screening for my documentary.
I was going to ask you about that. What's going on with that? How'd it come out?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't?
I said, here, full disclosure, at the very beginning, I said, I don't want this to be a fluff piece. Sure. I don't want to make something that just fucking strokes my ego. And if you let me be involved, I will just simply ask to do that. Right. I will want every great thing, no negativity. Right. And so I got two guys who said they'll do exactly that.
You're so smart to do that, Bert.
And so
people love that.
So I had nothing to do. I mean, obviously I raised all the money and I kind of started the project. But then these guys are my partners in this, and they're pushing it forward. I say partners legally. We haven't decided who the fuck is it. No, I'm kidding. But they shot it, they edited it, and I will see it for the first time tomorrow. I'm doing a podcast with Joey Diaz, another one this week with Joey that'll come out next week. I'll probably talk about it with Joey on there after I've seen it. But then we have a screening in September, I think, for a select group of family and friends. And I
would definitely want to come.
Yeah, and so I'd love for you to come. Because I'm not going to ask them to change anything until other people have seen it. Right. And other people can give their perspective. Because I know there are going to be parts where I go, ugh, seriously? But if they find it interesting, it's interesting. So then that should be ready to go based, on these notes. It should be ready to go.
Is your book all written?
Book is written. I have one more story that the beginning, I won't read it to you, only because it's behind me.
You have one more story to write.
I have one more story that I want to write, and it's based on my theory that drug dealers have the best houses to party in.
Right.
And I lived in an ex-drug dealer's house that was a Florida State teacher. So I'm writing that story now.
Wow.
And he got busted. Very big public case. Got busted selling crack and cocaine to the football players, and they were having sex parties in his house. He was a white history teacher.
No.
And then he got arrested, and he had tenure, and he bounced to upstate Minnesota. I'm sure he's turned state's evidence and fucking ratted everybody out, and then disappeared in upstate Minnesota. But he had this house that he had, and he would rent it for $800 a month to kids, and my buddies got it, and then they rented it to us. They passed it on to us, and when we lived in that house, fucking chaos went down because it had that drug dealer energy in it.
Yeah.
So I'm Yaniv's going to hear this. He knows when this went out, and he knows that I'm writing it. But I am almost done with it. I was supposed to give it to him today because we're done with the book.
I would love to read that.
But yeah,
I know what you mean by drug dealer energy, though. I know exactly what you mean.
It was kind of.
We had people that grew pot across the street from us, and then I walked through the house after the cops raided it. And it is a certain kind of energy.
There's an energy. It's like you're like, I feel like a fucking concert poster should go on that wall.
Yeah,
like
a certain kind of energy.
Hey, is this where the elk house?
But also like a transient kind of energy too.
Yeah,
anything could go down. Anything could happen here.
Yeah. And so that's the only other story that I wanted to add in. So I just wanted one more. It's one more party story. Like one more,
good.
So
you should definitely write that story because I'm totally intrigued to hear that.
Yeah, so
that sounds great.
The house, that place was interesting. He used to leave he left all his shit because he had bounce, so all his shit was in the attic. So
like what?
Everything.
Everything.
Imagine if you were having sex-crazed, drug-fueled parties.
Oh, like sex swings and stuff?
Oh, fucking everything. And roller skates and you could just imagine this firecracker, Speedo, roller skate kind of party. And we just go up and we'd sit in the attic and we'd read his books and we'd just fucking do mushrooms and trip out. But yeah, so you like how I just pulled this entire podcast back to me the entire time. So your movie is coming out in January on Comedy Central.
Jason Nash is married. The web show's out now. Andy Richter, Michael Ian Black, Andrea Savage. I'll have you do an episode next year.
MIB. I can teach you how to be a man we'll go ride motorcycles.
That would be really good. I have a place we could go.
Oh, I went and took motorcycle. We could totally do that. That'll be a blast. There's a lot of shit. We could go skydiving.
Oh my god! And then on Vine. And if you follow me on Vine, that would be great.
What is it? Just Jason Nash?
Just Jason Nash. Yeah, I have sunglasses in the picture.
Yeah, follow Jason on Vine. And here's the best part: go to Jason's and follow whoever he follows. Whoever he follows is really good on Vine. That's how Vine works, people. I apologize that I didn't put out a podcast last week. I hope you guys still love me. Joey Diaz is next week. I will be taping with him Friday. Hopefully we'll get Joe. I haven't reached out to him. But maybe Joe while I'm in town this week. And then I'm in production, shooting Trip Flip. Tour date in Anchorage. I'm going to say the 15th. Let's just ballpark it. Fuck, phone's dead. Well, let's just hope it's the 15th.
If it's a Saturday.
Yeah. Jason, thanks so much for coming, man. I appreciate you doing this.
This is a blast, Bert.
And thank you for having me on your podcast.
You're welcome.
That was the best.
Let's see. The
15th of September? Is that a Sunday?
I'm working on it. The 15th of September is a Sunday.
That's when I'll be in Anchorage. One night only. God bless everyone. Jason, thank you again.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.